New Orleans in primary playoff position this season. So looking ahead to next season, it's Kansas City and New England from Foxborough on Monday night.
Available, presented by Toyota.
Two of the better quarterbacks in the league, Elvis Grbac, Drew Bledsoe, have at it tonight. Our Hall of Fame quarterback is Dan Fouts. And Dan, one eye on 2001, but how will they play out the present tonight?
Well, with the records they have, Al, the last thing you'll hear me say is that these guys are playing for pride. It's too late for pride. They're playing for three things: personal incentive clauses, future employment, and maybe a shot at the Pro Bowl. Two players we'll be looking at closely tonight have been to the Pro Bowl. Lawyer Malloy of the Patriots, their leading tackler and unquestionable leader, and Tony Gonzalez, a great tight end of the Chiefs. He is the ultimate scoring machine. 20 of his 21 career touchdown catches have come from the 25-yard line and in. And Al, tonight both quarterbacks have got hand problems. Gerbach's got the bad finger, Bledsoe with the bad thumb. It's going to be an adventure throwing the ball.
So with his thumb wrapped, but he's ready for action tonight. This team is 3-9. Well, Melissa Stark, you have been around the Patriots for the past few days. What's the atmosphere like here?
Alan, talking to the players, they insist that they've stuck together through all of this. One of the reasons why is Bill Belichick has used a different way to motivate them each week. He showed them Secretariat's race in the Belmont to encourage them to finish strong. He showed them Willis Reed in the NBA Finals against the Lakers to encourage them to play hurt. Today, there were no videos. He just used his words to try and inspire the players. I think what he's trying to do is use a different tactic and hope that makes the difference tonight.
Another thing that could make the difference tonight would be a good ground game, something they haven't had. Each team without a primary running back, more running back by committee as the phrase goes. And Eric Dickerson, you're a Hall of Fame running back. What do you think of running back by committee?
Well, Al, I know a little bit about running the football, but I know one thing. To win in this league, you've got to be able to run the football, and both of these teams have had some trouble doing it. Now, the Kansas City Chiefs, who has only ran the ball for 946 yards with a 3.3 average, almost one of the worst teams in the league. Now, the new thing that teams are doing is the running back by committee. You take your choice who wants to go in. Well, Al, it doesn't work. Players hate it. What it does to a running back, he doesn't get a chance to really get into the groove of a football game. He's always looking over his shoulder. Now, another thing, what these teams need to do is take one guy, may it be Kevin Falk or Kimball Anders, and make him the guy that they're going to run the football with all night tonight.
Speaking of the groove, here's the groovy one. Welcome to Foxborough. Your first trip here, big boy?
You know, Al, and you folks at home should know that Foxborough is so far away from downtown Boston. Paul Revere has yet to arrive here. But I have a warm place in my heart for the New England Patriots. They were in the first game we did in Canton. I remember at the time saying I look forward to a good season for them because they had a fifth-place schedule. Can I be candid with you? I had absolutely no idea what that meant at that time. I thought it meant that they would end up in fifth place in their division. As you can see from this graphic, I was very prescient. Do not be afraid of my telekinetic powers. Know they exist and be glad I use them only for good. But next year during preseason, when I tell you they will have another fifth place season schedule, which they will, I want you to know that in my heart that year, I will know what it means and you can take it to the bank. Albino.
It's 9:05. Paul will be here in 2 hours, 55 minutes. We're going to keep an eye out for him. Gunther Cunningham leading the Kansas City Chiefs into Foxborough to take on Bill Belichick, Drew Bledsoe, and the New England Patriots on Monday Night Football. Boston, about a 40-minute drive from Foxborough. That is without traffic on a night like tonight, more like about an hour 20. The beautiful sights of the state capital of Massachusetts with the Old North Church, Faneuil Hall, and there is Foxborough Stadium. 2 more seasons here, counting this one. And then the Patriots with their new stadium under construction, moving to that one across the parking lot in 2002. Todd Sauerbrunn to kick off for Kansas City, and Curtis Jackson, who had been on the Rams practice squad and has been activated by the Patriots not only to run back kicks but to see a lot of action at wide receiver tonight. Out of Texas is back to receive this kick. He fields it at the 6-yard line, and Jackson up past the 40 to the 50-yard line and out of bounds in Chiefs territory. So what a Patriot debut for one. Curtis Jackson pushed out by Pat Dennis. Kevin Falk starts at running back with Tony Carter at fullback. Troy Brown and Terry Glenn are outside, and Rod Rutledge is the tight end. Up front, Bruce Armstrong, 14th year in Druzy. Damian Woody, good job at center this season. Saleh Isaiah and Adrian Clem starts at right tackle. Clem was their top draft pick, picked in the 2nd round. They didn't have a number 1 last year, out of Hawaii. From the 47-yard line, they start with Falk taking the toss and picking up maybe 1 to the 47. Let's take a look at Kansas City defensively right now. And the Chiefs with Eric Hicks, who leads the team in sacks with 9, McLaughlin and Browning in the middle, and Clemens on the other side. As New England goes without a huddle, Maslowski, Patton, and Donnie Edwards are the linebackers. Patton ran an interception back for a touchdown at San Diego last week. So the Pats begin with a hurry up, and on 2nd down and 9, it is Troy Brown knocked down at the 41-yard line. Quickly, the Kansas City defensive backs, and they have 2 rookies in the starting lineup. Pat Dennis, the veteran Hasty, Wesley, the rookie from Arkansas Pine Bluff, and Jerome Woods. So New England without a huddle from the start, and Dan, that's one of the things that they wanted to do by starting with the hurry up, getting Kansas City offside.
And the other thing, Al, is they want to go with these 3 and 4 wide receivers.
Encroachment, number 93, defense, 5 yards, first down.
That's John Browning, who's taking over for Dan Williams, but Drew Bledsoe's excellent at using the voice inflection to get the defensive line to jump into the neutral zone. But Charlie Weiss told me they want to turn this into a nickel game. They feel they have an advantage going against some of the inexperience of the Chiefs secondary.
From the 36-yard line, the pass is caught behind the line of scrimmage by Terry Glenn, and he's hit by the rookie Pat Dennis. So Dennis covering one of the best wideouts in the league, and certainly equal to the task on the first play.
And remember, Drew Bledsoe has a bad thumb, and that was a poorly thrown ball. It got away from him just a little bit. He's going to be struggling. You can see he's got a taped thumb. That was a direct result of that pass.
2nd down and 14. Bledsoe under pressure and gets knocked down back at the 47-yard line. That's Eric Hicks with his 10th sack of the season.
Well, I like Drew, but I'm glad he got sacked so he could take a breath.
Well, they picked up the first down with the hurry up because of the penalty, but now they're 3rd and 19.
3rd down 19.
At the 45-yard line. Bledsoe. Wide open over the middle is Rod Rutledge, the tight end. Big gain, but still about 4 yards shy of the first down. So it'll be 4th down and 4 at the 30, and they'll look to Adam Vinatieri for a 47-yard field goal attempt.
Well, that completion got Vinatieri into range. But the Patriots have wasted a wonderful way to start the game with that 47-yard kickoff return by Curtis Jackson.
Well, this might be Vinatieri's range, but it wasn't Eddie Murray's range yesterday. Night this cold with that breeze, even though he's made 14 in a row, there still is no easy kick.
And that miss by Murray helping pave the way for Norv Turner's exit. More on that later. Vinatieri has made 14 straight. This is a 48-yard attempt, and the kick is good. So the New England lead is set up by the good run back by the 27-year-old rookie Curtis Jackson. 3-0 Pats early.
Otherwise known as Old Raymond Burr. You know, Pete,
Ironsides?
Yeah, Ironsides.
Yeah,
my mix was screwed up during the opening segment. I couldn't even hear you, brother. Did you say anything interesting?
We fixed it.
All right.
Vinatieri's kick fielded at the 10-yard line by Mike Cloud. And Cloud brings it back up to the 30-yard line. Let's take a look at the Kansas City backs and receivers.
Elvis Grbac, quarterback, University of Michigan.
Kimball Anderson, running back, University of Houston.
Tony Richardson, fullback, Auburn University.
Sylvester Morris Jr., wide receiver, Jackson State University.
Derek Alexander, wide out, University of Michigan.
Tony Gonzalez, tight end, University of California.
And Grbac and his receivers having good seasons, but their running game close to non-existent. From the 30-yard line, they begin on the ground, and they give the ball to Tony Richardson, who picks up 3. Here are the guys up front for the Chiefs.
John Tate, offensive tackle, Brigham Young University.
Victor Riley, offensive tackle, Auburn University.
Jeff Blackshear, offensive guard, Northeast Louisiana.
Will Shields, offensive guard, University of Nebraska.
Tim Grunhard, center, University of Notre Dame.
Grunhard and Shields each around for a long time. For Shields, he's made 123 straight starts.
Biggest team in the NFL, the Chiefs have. A lot of meat on that O-line.
2nd and 8. This is Tony Richardson out of the backfield. Takes the screen up to the 49-yard line for a first down.
Richardson's their leading rusher this year with almost 400 yards. He ran the screen pretty nicely, Dano.
Well, he's caught a lot of passes too, Dennis. This is 41 on the year. Little screen pass perfectly executed by Gerbach as he set up and then gave ground. A couple missed tackles by the Patriots. And this is what we've seen too much in the NFL lately. A lot of missed tackles on running backs in the open field.
Yeah, seen a lot of RBs throw up 200 yards plus this year.
Yeah, especially yesterday.
Gerbach throwing, and then it is dropped. It is dropped by Tony Gonzalez, and that's news for a guy who figures to be on his way to the Pro Bowl. Let's meet the New England defensive front seven.
Willie McGinnis, defensive end, University of Southern Cal.
Bobby Hamilton, defensive lineman, University of Southern Mississippi.
Brandon Mitchell, defensive lineman, Texas A&M University.
Chad Eaton, nose tackle, Washington State University.
Chris Slade, linebacker, University of Virginia.
Teddy Bruschi, linebacker, University of Arizona.
Ted Johnson, linebacker, Colorado University.
On 2nd down and 10, Gerbach throws, and that pass is caught by Tony Gonzalez, who did not catch a single pass last week with Warren Moon at quarterback against San Diego. Here's the New England secondary.
Ty Law, cornerback, University of Michigan.
Otis Smith, free safety, University of Missouri.
Bucky Jones, safety from Syracuse.
I'm Lawyer Malloy, strong safety, University of Washington.
I think Gerbach was so stunned Gonzalez dropped the first one, he had to go back to it just to get his reality right.
3rd down and 2. Gerbach fires to the outside. A juggling catch is made by Derek Alexander. Not only getting possession after juggling it, but then picking up the first down, getting to the 33.
And Ty Law gambled on the interception. Watch Law 24. He's going to come real close to picking this one off, and if he does, he scores. Super concentration by Alexander, absorbing the big hit by Lawyer Malloy. But watch this. Looked like Law might have got a finger on it. For sure, Alexander never lost it as he bounces it up in the air after a couple of times.
From the 32-yard line. Chase, and then Gerbach has to throw it away as Teddy Bruschi put the pressure on. Bob McElwee is the referee, and he deems that the quarterback gets out of the tight end box in effect, and that pass is a legal pass. Legal in the sense that it's simply an incompletion and not grounding it.
Elvis pretty nimble there. He turned right around and he was right there.
Here comes Bruschi. Let's see if Gerbach gets out of the tackle area or the tight end area. He's right on the line there. Good call, non-call by the official.
Don't they give you some bonus points if the guy's hanging off there?
No. 2nd and 10, and this is Kimball Anders to the 24-yard line where he's tackled by Tabucky Jones.
Well, they shifted Tabucky Jones back to safety earlier in the season. Weren't sure how it was going to work out, but the other day Belichick said it's been a successful experiment. He's going to keep him there.
One thing you like Tabucky. I think you like to say Tabucky, don't you?
I just love Tabucky. I mean, you know, it's like...
That's the best part of his game, bringing down Kimball Anderson in the open field. Big guy for a safety, 220.
Tabucky, Kimball, feel like I'm on a soap opera.
Now they have Donnell Bennett in the game, and he gets tripped up. That's a great play by Chris Slade to get underneath and to trip him at the 25-yard line, to trip him up and force Kansas City to settle for a 42 or 43-yard field goal attempt.
This is a big play by Slade. From the right side of the screen, he gets underneath all the offensive linemen of the Chiefs there and takes Donnell Bennett's legs out from under him. Slade with another big play for the Patriots. This is the type of game they're going to have to get from their defense.
Belichick said Tabucky's had a pretty solid job this year. For Belichick, that's a tearful eulogy.
42-yard field goal attempt by Todd Peterson, and that one is good. So the teams trade field goals on each team's opening drive. 8:27 left in the quarter in New England. 3-3.
Wow, nice.
Central here on ABC.
Tommy Hanks did a lot of nice work for that World War II memorial. Make a donation, folks.
Sauerbrun's kick is a short one, and Tony Carter brings it back up to the 34-yard line, and that's where Bledsoe will begin New England's second drive, and we'll see if they use the hurry up here as they try to open up the game quickly paced.
2 field goals in the first 7 minutes, Pino. What more could you ask for? We might see more threes than less salvage in the Anaheim Amigos tonight.
Less salvage. Charlie Weiss, the offensive coordinator, he'd like to see a bunch of 7s instead of 3s.
Why does Charlie opt for the sideline, Dano? You ever ask him? Most of them are up in the booth.
Yeah, you know, it's basically half and half now, Dennis, with coordinators. A lot of them like to get down there and look in the eyes of their players.
On first down, carrying the ball is Kevin Falk. It's been a trend in recent years. I think it's 4 or 5 years ago, almost every offensive coordinator was upstairs, and now it almost seems to be 50-50.
And with the hurry-up offense, it's probably easier for Charlie to be down on the sidelines, getting the plays directly to Bledsoe.
Second down and 8 from the 35-yard line. Bledsoe hit as he throws, and somehow that wobbly duck winds up as a completion and a first down to Kevin Falk. It was Eric Hicks and Dwayne Clemens who sandwiched Bledsoe as he throws, and they still use the hurry up here on 1st and 10 at the 46.
That's got to be tough to do the hurry up after you've been hit by 2 guys.
Now Falk picks up 3.
And the reason Falk is back in the game is J.R. Redmond's got some bad ribs, so he's on the inactive list tonight. And Falk is back in the picture, according to Charlie Weiss, because he's worked hard mentally to overcome his fumbles and his missed blocking assignments as far as pass protection is concerned.
Second down and 7. Bledsoe flips it out, and this is the tight end Rutledge who makes his second catch of the night and comes up a little bit short of the first down tackle by the venerable James Hasty in his 13th season.
This offense with the hurry up, it's really livened things up for the Patriots. It's given them something to think about, a little bit exciting, setting the tempo, keeping the Chiefs off balance right now.
Third down, inches from the 45-yard line. And Bledsoe will keep it himself and picks up the first down to the 42.
I think as far as J.R. Redmond went tonight, discretion was the better part of valor. This is definitely not bad rib weather.
You know, but it's not bad weather, though, for this time of year in this part of the country.
Well, then I'm a complete girly man because I'm freezing.
Hey, thank God the wind's not blowing tonight. That's the big difference. Here's Bledsoe setting up the screen.
Wow.
And not particularly well. Kevin Falk, the intended receiver. Bledsoe, that's his first incompletion. He's now 5 of 6. Drew Bledsoe, who had been sacked so few times early in his career, but things have changed here in New England. One of the reasons for this 3-9 record is the fact that offensive line has been very porous, and he's been on his back a lot this season.
Yeah, but Burline's way out there on the perimeter getting whacked more than anyone.
Second down and 10. This is Troy Brown making the catch, taking it just inside the 40. It'll be third down and 6. Donnie Edwards with the tackle.
When you wonder about a little tiny wide receiver cutting back across the middle on a screen pass like that, there you can see all the sacks that Drew Bledsoe has had to put up with in his career. Tough guy.
Troy Brown might be tiny, Dano. He's probably the MVP of this team so far this year.
Third down and 6. Bledsoe steps up, guns it over the middle, and guns it to Troy Brown, who takes it to the 16. Old prescient one.
I was talking to an expert friend of mine. He told me Brown might be the MVP of this team so far this year.
Who was that friend?
That was me. Sorry. Damn it.
You know, I heard the same thing. Amazing. And then they throw him the ball, and he catches it. And it lays a big lick on Greg Wesley there. Troy Brown's in this game playing with a bad leg. But it's Monday night, and magic things happen on Monday, don't they, Dennis? Like you calling that play? Wow.
Troy Brown also Mrs. Kraft's favorite player.
8th round selection in the '93 draft. That was so long ago, you don't even have an 8th round anymore. Just 7. 23-yard reception, and then Bledsoe, before he takes the snap, flags come in. Bob McElwee, who has refereed 2 Super Bowls, makes the call.
False start, number 70, offense. 5 yards, first down.
Adrian Clem, the rookie.
And Clem with his first start. Drew Bledsoe's taken a lot of beating in his career. 38 sacks now. He's gone down once tonight. But he's playing with a bad thumb, but not giving in to the pain. and throwing the ball pretty well so far tonight.
Well, if they can get Clem and Randall Robinson off the schneid, eventually they're going to have a nice offensive line here. Let's just hope Drew's around to savor it.
1st and 15. Chiefs show blitz. Here they come. And then the pass is incomplete. Patrick pass. Dropping the pass. He is a rookie, a 7th-round draft choice out of Georgia, who actually started last week's game.
He's probably lucky he took a pass on that, because he would have been laid out.
One thing about Drew Bledsoe, if we look at this graphic, you'll see that as far as the second half of the season, he's thrown more interceptions in the last 2 years than he has touchdown passes. So this is a major concern for the Patriots, especially as they try to look forward to next year and finish off this one on a positive note.
Does that tell you he's flinching, Dano?
Well, maybe it's a result of all those sacks.
2nd and 15 from the 21-yard line. They go to Brown again. Brown takes it to the 15-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 9. He is tackled by Mike Maslowski.
Well, maybe Belichick has found their meter. Maybe they're a speed-up team. They look really precise here.
Jeff Zachary is our steady camera operator, and he's going to be running right alongside this little flanker screen out here. Terry Glenn out in front of Troy Brown. There's big Zach.
He doesn't actually have any special equipment. He's just heavily sedated.
He heard you too.
He'll take off about 17 pounds tonight. 3rd down and 8. Play clock ticking all the way down, and Bledsoe has to take a timeout. So they're in a hurry up, going without a huddle, and then they have to take a timeout because they were running out of time on the play clock. It'll be 3rd and 8 when we come back. 3:59 left in the opening quarter in Foxborough. 3-3. Pats and Chiefs. Season in Boston, the Quincy Marketplace, located near the harbor in downtown Boston. It is just a great city.
You know, my favorite part of the weekend in Boston is watching the trial in Florida when the Russian statistician started talking to the Smokey and the Bandit judge. Only in America, my friend.
Ain't that true? 3rd down and 8 from the 14-yard line. The blitz. Bledsoe gets the pass off, and Jermaine Wiggins, the former Jet, and a guy who made a touchdown reception in that miracle win by the Jets on a Monday night in October, makes the catch.
And you can see Bledsoe beat the blitz of the Chiefs. They come with the linebacker. Here comes Patton. And Maslowski's too late to come over on Wiggins. That's a veteran quarterback play right there.
Yeah, and he's still got that nice arm strength throwing off the back pedal.
On 1st down now, after the conversion, it's Kevin Falk. It's 2nd down and goal. The Chiefs have had monster problems with red zone defense this year. It's something that really has eaten up Coach Gunther Cunningham. They've allowed a touchdown on 65%, as you can see, of the opponent's drives in the red zone. Only the Bears and Jacksonville would be worse. And Cunningham, the former defensive coordinator, is crazy about that.
Well, both these guys, defensive coordinators, who have yet to show, still have to show that they can be great head coaches in this league.
2nd and goal from the 3-yard line. With an empty backfield, a quarterback draw, and Bledsoe to the 1. Coming into the season, Bledsoe had not rushed for a single touchdown in his career. This year he's rushed for 2 and almost a third.
As fat as that playbook is, that one's not in there, is it, Dan?
Well, what they did is they went empty in the backfield. But Bledsoe, not only has he rushed for 2 touchdowns this year, but his per rush average is a very respectable, for a quarterback, 3.3 yards a carry.
Wow.
Belichick has turned Bledsoe into a running threat.
Billy Belichick has just turned into a freak since we last saw him.
Now it's 3rd down and goal, and that's Henry Thomas playing fullback and leading the way for Falk, and Falk cannot get to the goal line. He is stopped short. The Chiefs salute themselves because it's 4th down and goal.
Well, they got to get somebody bigger in there at fullback.
I don't know. Henry Thomas, 275 pounds. I don't think he got a block. Here he is right there. Maslowski does a great job of getting inside and stopping Falk before he can get into the end zone.
And when you're 3 and 9 and the crowd wants you to go for it, why not? What do you have to lose? They're going to go for it. Pass up the field goal chance here. 4th down and goal from the 5-inch line.
Yeah.
Falk vaults in. Touchdown.
Sam the Bam Cunningham.
have certainly remember seeing Sam the Bam going over the top like that one. Little misdirection that time for the Patriots. They sent Henry Thomas off the weak side. And on the counter play, Falk gets up over the top for the touch.
Listen, at 3-9, they are not out of this.
Yes, they are.
Not out of what?
All right, I'm trying to sell the game. We're in a ratings business.
You probably think they're 10-1.
I hope the Baldwin brothers aren't a Nielsen family. Here they went up to Canada today.
Yeah, quickly. Here's Vinatieri for the point after. 15 plays, 67 yards, and Falk on 4th down gives New England a 10-3 lead. Adam Vinatieri, who played his college football at South Dakota State, ready to kick off. Mike Cloud and Larry Parker back to receive for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Do they pass more or rush more at South Dakota?
Very good. The 11-yard line. This is Mike Cloud. Up past the 40.
Mike!
To the 50-yard line. Good run back by Cloud.
A serious run back.
Cloud coming home, played his college football at Boston College. 10-3 New England. Here in Foxborough tonight, Monday Night Football. Next week we go to Indianapolis, what's become a vital game for two desperate teams right now, the Bills and the Colts, each 7-6 and trying to stay alive. Good one on ESPN Sunday night. The Jets go to Oakland at 8:30 Eastern time. This is Tony Richardson on first down for the Chiefs. He takes the ball up to the 49-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 9.
Go back and take a look at the effect of the misdirection here. Here's Henry Thomas. Watch Marcus Patton just hit the wrong hole because of the misdirection. And when you're 5'8", as Kevin Falk is, when you go over the top, you really got to go over the top. Big springs here. Ball clearly breaks the plane. He's in the end zone. Touchdown, Patriots.
Patriots. 2nd down and 9. A little swing. That's caught by Kimball Anders. Anders, who has been to 3 Pro Bowls as a fullback. So his role has gone back and forth through the years, now playing running back. But, you know, they do that with several guys. Tony Richardson is another guy who is of that ilk, Dan.
I think this is what Eric Dickerson was talking about when he was talking about running back by committee. Not only do they use a lot of running backs, they use them in both the running back positions.
It's going to be 3rd down and 4, and that will be the final play of the first quarter. That's the end of the first period in Foxborough. New England leading Kansas City 10-3, and Monday Night Football returns right after this message and a word from our ABC station. Friday right here on ABC. And the second quarter begins on 3rd down with Ty Law breaking up the play. The pass intended for Derek Alexander. That was 3rd and 4, and now they're forced to punt.
Well, that was just the Chiefs' second possession as this first quarter has just flown by tonight. See, both teams haven't done much running the ball. Bledsoe with a great start, 9 out of 11 for 79 yards. You can see the time of possession at 2 drives for the Patriots.
Now, Dano, as a former player, break down the 12 to 10-yard discrepancy for me in rushing yards in the first quarter.
Well, the Patriots have got 2 yards more than the Chiefs.
All right, I just wanted to...
Todd Sauerbrunn will punt. Did I go too fast for you?
Top observation. That's going to win the top observation award.
Top question, too.
Todd Sauerbrunn to punt. Troy Brown will fair catch it at the 11-yard line. So here come the Patriots.
Todd Sauerbrunn, that name makes me happy. They sell brats here? Somebody run out and give me a brat?
One thing that goes on here, there are people wondering about Drew Bledsoe and his future with his contract coming up pretty soon. And here's what he said about what he hopes will happen.
I've said all along that I anticipate and hope to play my entire career as a Patriot, and you know, very few players, and especially quarterbacks, I have that privilege of playing their entire career for one organization. I really want to do that. You know, so I'm optimistic, and I think something will happen in the offseason, because it's pretty obvious we have to do something with my deal so that we can work, you know, under the cap to improve our football team.
Not just empty rhetoric, he really loves it here. Just built a new house. Troy Brown takes it up to the 18-yard line.
Well, I'm reading writers this week talking about Bledsoe's future with the team and try Michael Bishop, and I'm thinking, you've got to be kidding me. I mean, Michael Bishop's a nice young kid, a great athlete, but Drew Bledsoe, over the 8-year period, his stats are up there with almost anybody's except Marino's.
Second down 4.
Led the team in the Super Bowl. Bill Parcells' last year here as the head coach, Kevin Falk.
He's a good soldier.
23.
And you know, the other thing about it, Dennis, he's only 28 years old. This is a kid that's got a potential to have another 10 years in this league. Kevin Falk on a draw play there. You see Donnie Edwards and Chester McLaughlin, the big defensive tackle, takes up a lot of room in there. There's Big Chester.
He wears 75 as an homage to Howie Long.
Jermaine Wiggins up to the 27-yard line, where he's tackled by James Hasty. New England from the outset tonight going no huddle.
How about Jermaine Wiggins with a couple of catches here in his first game with the Patriots, but he's very familiar with this offense. Playing with the Jets, they use basically the same system.
2nd and 5, and they give the ball to Kevin Falk, who takes it up to the 30-yard line. He's tackled by Tyrone Williams. Patriots trying to find a primary running back. Falk. Redmond is hurt. He's been in and out. He was one of their top draft picks. They've also used Patrick Pass in recent weeks, and the guy they'd really love to get back at some point
is Curtis Martin.
Well, Curtis Martin, of course. But he's long gone. Flags all over the place.
Larry Guerin.
They want
start number 63 offense.
That's
5 yards,
Joe
3rd down.
Andruzzi. They'd love to get Robert Edwards back. Edwards had a great rookie year, came out of Georgia, then he was injured in that freak incident in a beach football game in Hawaii, a made-for-television event. In fact, they were even whispering about amputation at one point. The injury was that serious, but Edwards is back in New England, working out, but you know, he's still a long way away from playing, but does have a chance. 3rd down and 8. Bledsoe throws, and that's incomplete. Good coverage on the play. Terry Glenn.
And you know, Bob Kraft really did the right thing by Bob Edwards, didn't he, Al?
He certainly did.
He did. He gave him $1 million that he actually wasn't stipulated by the league that he had to give him. But Kraft just wanted to keep his karma level, and he did the right thing.
Right.
And I think Edwards, Dano, I think we were talking about it the other day. You said he'd run through walls for the owner now.
Well, absolutely. And the really encouraging thing is that Mr. Kraft said that there's a 50-50 chance that Robert Edwards can play again for the Patriots.
I think somewhere in the back of his mind, he's thinking, if I can almost lose my leg in a beach game in Hawaii, this game's going to scare the hell out of him when he comes back.
Lee Johnson's 1,141st punt, tying it for 2nd all time with Ron Stark behind Dave Jennings. Comes to a halt at the 33-yard line. 12:43 left in the half. New England up by 7.
Gone to the vanilla cream snack wells in the second
Certainly
period
have early on as quarterback throws, and it's juggled, bounces around, and drops incomplete. He tried to jam it into the rookie Sylvester Morris, and the Patriots had to Bucky Jones and Ty Law there, and all three at particular points along the way had a chance to come up with a football.
Well, the first guy that has a shot is Ty Law. He runs the route for Sylvester Morris to Bucky with the big hit. That's why he's in the game. But Ty Law won't have an easier interception than that one, as he ran the post route for Sylvester Morris.
Not only did Bucky clock him, he got around Ty Law without hitting him. It was a beautiful little move he made.
Yeah, it sure was.
And throw Lawyer Malloy in the mix. He was the 4th guy who had a chance to come up with it. 2nd down and 10. As it's caught by Derek Alexander. And Alexander up to the 40-yard line, where he's tackled by Teddy Bruschi.
You know, Alexander sneaks up on you guys. For receivers in this league with over 250 catches, he's averaged 17 yards a catch. That's an amazing statistic. I had no idea that his credentials were that impeccable.
You know, he's had 500-yard games this season, and his 18.5 is number 1 in the AFC.
Belichick against Cunningham. As you can see through the years, Belichick has beaten Cunningham in every meeting as Richardson picks up the first down. This is Gunther's first head coaching job in his 2nd year. Belichick, as you go back and we looked at that graphic, Bill had been an assistant. In fact, Bill has been a coach in the NFL for 26 years. On a couple of those occasions, Bill was the head coach of the Cleveland Browns. But in every instance, when Belichick's been on one side of the field and Cunningham on the other, Bill has gone home to drink the champagne.
Well, Gunther told us he's getting 2.5 hours of sleep a night. The guy's wrapped tighter than a Fabergé egg shipped FedEx. He's got to cool out a little.
From the 46-yard line, here is Gerback. And that's knocked down. Good defensive work by Ty Law. Let's check in with Melissa.
Ty feeling it.
Al, after the Patriots just had to punt, Patriots assistant head coach Dante Scarnecchia just came over to the benches, was absolutely livid, threw his clipboard to the offensive line out, said, guys, we can't have that. You got to hang in there.
You see how Missy coordinated the scarf and the hat tonight? Why can't you do that? Every week I come in here and the look is not pulled together. I'm talking to Dan, Al, not you. You,
I thought you're looking at the mirror.
Are a Brooks Brothers model.
Give me a better plug than that.
Senya, who do you like?
Thank you. I'll take that one. 2nd and 10. This is Kimball Anders.
So you draw the Senya plug out of me, and you get the free suit this week.
That's right.
I'm sitting at home with some Campbell's chunky sirloin. You got the suit. All right, I see how this works.
I'll tell you one thing that doesn't work is when your guard, Will Shields, pulls and runs into your tight end, Tony Gonzalez, as the quarterback is handing the ball off, as what happened that time on that running play. No wonder the Chiefs can't run the ball.
Why are you always beating us over the head with this football stuff?
I don't know, it's just there. It's just right there in front of us.
All right, you're right. A little too early to go wacko.
3rd down and 9. Never too early to go wacko. 10.5 to go in the half. Here come the Patriots. Gerback reads it. Then the pass is fumbled. It was caught by Gonzalez. It was fumbled, and it is Tony George who comes up with it and gives New England the ball.
Looks like the New England defensive backs have made some quasi-suicide pact tonight because they are coming at people.
Now this is a blitz again, and this is a great job to Bucky Jones with the first hit, and then George gets around right into the front of Gonzalez and knocks the ball loose. Here's Tony right here, hot read, looks to the inside, there's the ball.
And after all this, they're going to call it incomplete. One official comes in at the end and says no, he never had possession.
This might be worth a challenge by the Patriots.
Very interesting.
Maybe they saw it better on the sidelines than we did at first on the camera.
But before they can challenge it, it is Sauerbrunn back to punt. And a fair catch was called for by Kevin Falk and made at the 10-yard line. So New England gets the ball back with a lot deeper in their own territory. 10:21 left in the half. Very close. Good call. Don't forget January 1st, New Year's Day, the Rose Bowl presented by AT&T from Pasadena, Washington, to take on Purdue right here on ABC. The Tostitos Fiesta Bowl, also Oregon State against Notre Dame on New Year's Day. Nokia Sugar Bowl, Miami against Florida, the FedEx Orange Bowl, Oklahoma, Florida State. And this is Terry Glenn taking the handoff, and Terry Glenn skirting the sideline, and Jerome Woods finally knocks him down at the 45-yard line.
You shouldn't bring up skirting in the same phrase as Terry Glenn. Parcells did that once. Terry doesn't take kindly to it.
Great job of blocking, first of all, by Bruce Armstrong, right there, 78, and then down the field, Damian Woody, the big center, clears the way, and Glenn gets down the sideline on the reverse.
We got to give it to Armstrong. He broke Julius Adams' games played for New England 2 weeks ago against Cincinnati.
35-yard gain on the end around, and this is Bledsoe throwing, intended for Glenn, and that's incomplete.
I talked to Bruce Armstrong about playing on Monday night, and his 14th year in the league. This is his 209th game. Look at that shot there. Here's Woody out in front.
Oh, that's nice.
Armstrong told me that although the season's been a disappointment, he says you never want to take a Monday night game for granted, because it's a special thing. Everybody around the country and all your friends get to watch, but it doesn't come every year.
Patrick Pass carrying the ball there for a gain of 4. Bruce has been around a long time. In fact, there was some question as to whether he'd be back this year, but indeed he is. At 3rd down and 6 now at the 49-yard line. You know, all you need to know about the Patriot running game is that run by Glenn equaled their longest run of the season. Their prior 35-yarder is Bledsoe throws, and that's incomplete. for Curtis Jackson. Their prior 35-yard run was by Troy Brown on an end around.
So this Curtis Jackson kid was on the practice squad at St. Louis?
He was. He played at Texas as a running back behind Ricky Williams, was out of football for a couple of years, went to Canada, and the Patriots just picked them up.
So that kind of speed doesn't even get you off the practice squad in St. Louis.
No, it doesn't.
Although Kurt Warner knocking off a few of the barnacles yesterday, they'll be back.
Lee Johnson, his second punt.
You know, they were trying out punters at training camp this week, or at the training center for the Patriots. I'm sure Johnson couldn't have liked that.
That's Kevin Lockett making the catch at the 20-yard line. Kansas City with the ball back, 8:49 left in the half. New England by 7. Don't forget, next Monday night we'll be in Indianapolis. Bills and Colts, each in desperate need of a win, trying to stay alive in the playoff hunt. And then on Sunday on ESPN, the Jets and the Raiders from Oakland.
Our game on Monday is Thunderdome, Al. 2 enter, 1 leaves.
Here is Gerbach on first down, off the play fake, going deep and getting free is Derek Alexander. He beats Malloy, and he'll go all the way for a touchdown. 80 yards.
That 17-yard per average just went up a little.
They get 81 officially, the line of scrimmage, the 19. And with Law and Malloy both in the picture, he beats 2 guys who've been to Pro Bowls.
And he ran away from both of them. Perfect pass by Gerbach. Watch the separation here. It's over. Malloy can't even get a dive off as Alexander goes in untouched.
Well, somewhere along the way, Gunther Cunningham has turned the running back committee team into an aerial circus.
Strength of this team, especially with Gerbach back. We got a Patriot hurt back at the 15-yard line, but Alexander showing that great speed.
Well, the word on Gerbach earlier in the season, I remember when we called one of their games, Dan, was you could rattle him if you got good licks in on him, but he seems like he's really grown into the role here.
Yeah, and remember, he's playing with a bad finger, and that was a perfect pass.
Injury timeout prior to the extra point attempt.
Brandon Mitchell getting helped off the field, and you're going to see a play by John Tate where John Tate is going to fall on the legs of Brandon Mitchell. Tate is number 76 right there. And that is an illegal block by John Tate and a bad injury for Brandon Mitchell.
It might be illegal. Do players consider that dirty down?
You betcha.
Todd Peterson for the point after to tie the game. Alexander with the 81-yard reception. Alexander last year, as you can see, 3 touchdowns of 80-plus yards. 2 on receptions, 1 on a run, tying the NFL single-season mark. And that was his 10th touchdown of 2000. A reminder.
Hated seeing this touchdown play by the Chiefs because he drafted Derek Alexander when he was the head coach of the Browns. This is what he envisioned for the Browns, and hate seeing for the Chiefs tonight.
He did. He coached them in Cleveland for 2 years, and then Alexander went with the team to Baltimore for 2 years. And Carl Peterson, the president and GM of the Chiefs, who's done such a great job through the years, secured the services of him in 1998. Foxborough Stadium. They'll play 1 more season here. Patriots have played here since the early 70s. Began, of course, as the Boston Patriots, one of the original American Football League franchises. Played at Old Braves Field at Boston University, Fenway Park, Harvard Stadium.
Boston College for a year.
BC. Todd Sauerbrunn. His kick fielded by the 27-year-old rookie Curtis Jackson, who had a big run back on the opening kickoff, and this one after the 32-yard line, and then he gets popped by Mike Maslowski.
Now there's a beautiful name for somebody who's popping somebody on a kickoff. Mike Maslowski. Either that or he's one of those puppets on Supercar. Remember that little puppet show?
I do.
Well, you got to add the middle name Mad Dog when you hit like that. I asked him if he minded me hanging that nickname on him. He said no, he kind of liked it because, boy, you could see the sweat flying after Mad Dog takes down Curtis Jackson on that one.
There's not much sweat to be had tonight, my friend.
There's not any left.
That came from deep within the pores.
From the 33-yard line, the Patriots begin this drive with Bledsoe under pressure, and then down he goes as it was Chester McLaughlin who got there first, and then helping to finish him off was Steve Martin.
That's only 3 sacks this entire year for Big Chester. Number 75, short 3-step drop. Bledsoe looks to his right, then back to his left. This too long. On a 3-step drop, you cannot look at both sides of the field like this.
Now, you always hear about half sacks. Is this a full sack or a half for McLaughlin?
We're going to get the scoring in just a moment.
I'm always intrigued by that. How much do you have to participate to get a half sack?
Occasionally, you'll get a third of a sack.
No.
Oh, yes. That time they give McLaughlin a full sack, and there goes Mitchell back to the locker room. We'll get a report on him. Second down at 15. And this is Kevin Falk.
Are you kidding me with a third of a sack thing?
Yeah. Very rarely, but it's been known to have happened. Wow. Very rarely. Let's go to Melissa.
Al, you just saw defensive end Brandon Mitchell being taken off the field. He has an injured right leg. They just put an immobilizer on it. He won't return. They're taking him in, though, to check him out.
Wow.
Well, thank you, Melissa.
Imagine that. You're injured. You're sitting there, and the guy decides to take you in reverse. Can you not turn this around?
3rd and 16, and flags all over the place.
Prior to the snap, ball start, number 70, offense. 5 yards, 3rd down.
The rookie Adrian Clem, the 310-pounder from the University of Hawaii, where he played for June Jones last year.
310. Let's call him the Big Island. That's his new nickname.
He's Mulligan.
Mad Dog Maslowski. I'm calling Clem the Big Island.
You got to save room for, guys like Gilbert Brown. That would be the Big Island.
Yeah. Okay, Clem with the silver helmet is Diamond Head.
3rd down at 21. Bledsoe. Chase throws against the grain. Falk. And he gets taken down by Donnie Edwards.
Donnie Edwards, 4th year in a row with over 100 tackles. Only other Chief ever to do it, Deron Cherry.
The Chiefs' defense is their best series of the night. 3 and out. McLaughlin with a sack on 1st down, a tackle on 2nd down, and then Eric Hicks gets in on the quarterback here, forces Bledsoe to backpedal and throw his outlet receiver.
Donnie Edwards is so smooth in every aspect of his game. He's almost overlooked in an odd way in this league.
Lee Johnson to punt. Johnson has played in 151 games in which his team has lost. At the 22-yard line, this is Kevin Lockett. A flag is thrown on the run back, so we'll get the call from Lockett, but our man Steve Hurd coming up with that note. Johnson has played in more losing games than any player in the history of the league. Think about it. If you play 151 losing games, you would have had to have played, as the holding call goes against Kansas City, if you played 9.5 years, it would take that long to lose every game and get to 151.
Why do you think he's going on 1,100 punts? He hasn't exactly been on great squads.
10-yard penalty.
That is the worst stat for a punter, his number of attempts.
Kids, I had 2,000 punts when I was a young man.
There it is, Mike Ken, who had a great career as the offensive tackle in Atlanta, just played on a bunch of bad teams. Trey Junkin, the tight end, mainly with the Raiders. Morton Anderson and Clay Matthews have both been around so long, they played in a lot of losses.
It's easy for a punter to be on losing teams than it is a place kicker. I'm surprised to see Morton Anderson there.
New Orleans,
yes,
and Atlanta.
All right, I'm not surprised to see Morton Anderson there.
1st down at the 17-yard line for the Kansas City Chiefs. And picking up 3 yards is Kimball Anders up to the 20-yard line. Tony Gonzalez played basketball at the University of California.
Well, his basketball background is evident in the way he establishes position on a defender and in his ability to catch the ball with his hands. And despite his size, he has the skills of a wide receiver and the numbers to match. And no one duels better in the red zone. Of Tony's 21 career touchdowns, 17 have come inside the 20.
2nd and 7. That pass is thrown behind Sylvester Morris, the rookie out of Jackson State, who is their top draft choice, covered by Ty Law.
Between what I saw from Randy Moss on Thanksgiving Day.
Meanwhile, we have a little skirmish that develops.
And James Thrash 2 weeks ago, and Gonzalez pushing off is now a high art form in this league. I think Rodman's trying to come back in the wrong sport with his skills. He might come back here and be a beautiful tight end, man.
Never beautiful.
Well, I mean, just, I got you. Rodman always had a football player mentality anyway.
I think it's more tends toward that new league, the XFL mentality.
triple X up top.
3rd down and 7. Toss back to Richardson. Needs 7 and gets about 7.5.
Boy, somebody went high on him. You almost don't see that in this league anymore.
That's your boy Tabucky Jones going for the clothesline shot. It's a well-designed play. John Tate gets out in front along with Blackshear. There's the headhunting shot by Tabucky Jones, number 34.
That's old school there. Look at Tabucky. Nice reaction.
Boy, he could have got called for a number of things on that one. Blow to the head, hand across the face mask. Richardson showing toughness, falling forward, picking up the 1st down.
From the 28. Gerbach throws, caught at the 30-yard line, and Slade is right there to take care of Richardson immediately after a short gain.
You know, you look at both these teams tonight, you look at some of the tools they have, and it really is a fine line in this league between having a winning season and just going completely down the tubes, isn't it?
No question.
You can look at the splint on Gerbach's finger. He told me the biggest problem he's going to have tonight is when he really has to set his feet and throw a fastball. The index finger is the last finger that touches the ball, and it's the finger that actually guides the ball for you.
2nd down and 7. And this is Anders. Dennis, you're talking about the fine line. You look at a team like New England, 3-9, but in 7 of those losses, they lose the game by 8 points or less. In other words, they are 1 possession away from tying the game at worst.
And I read Ted Johnson earlier this week. He was saying that he thought early in the season the team might have forgotten how to win a tough game, and that's why they got out of the hole so badly. Also saw Petey Carroll with some ugly language out of the Bay Area this week, saying that the New England situation was a joke. What's that about?
Well, no, he said that was taken completely out of context. He said it's a joke that they have played in so many close games and they have a record that bad. 3rd down and 6. And that's tipped and it's incomplete.
So he said New England is a joke.
In the meantime, we also have delay a game here. So,
and then he said that it meant there was a lot of close games.
Things were taken out of context. You know what that's like, don't you?
Yeah, but that's pretty. That's a big stretch there. We'll give Petey the benefit of the doubt.
Petey.
Lawyer Malloy, you know one thing about him, he's going to come up and hit anything that moves. That time it's Jason Dunn, backup tight end, and he's getting in his face and getting help.
Jason Dunn, one of 11 children, so you know he's comfortable in the huddle.
Was that a joke?
Or maybe uncomfortable.
Was it a joke? It's an observation. 11 kids. How many people come from an 11-kid family? How many sports organizations have 11 things in it? Just a little parallel universe.
3rd down and 11. Gerbach throws. Alexander juggles, can't make the catch.
A lot of juggling tonight. At the Karamazov Brothers show.
Super Circus, Claude Kirshner. That's what I feel like up here. Claude Kirshner.
What is that? You know, I don't even know. Is he the guy with the orangutans?
He was the ringmaster.
Oh. Sorry. Oh, that was Bobby Barancini. Right. Sorry, I've got my Masters of Mirth mixed up.
Got to get you some decaf.
Huh? I did. I have a cup of coffee now. I'm wired for sun. Ear hold me. I'm losing it.
4th down and 11 as Todd Sauerbrunn gets ready to kick to Kevin Falk. Line drive kick. Falk. Chance for a decent run back when a kick is of that trajectory, and it's more than a decent run back as he brings it back inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. And that's what happens when you kick a line drive. Falk had 20 yards to roam before a white shirt appeared.
And this is what killed the Chiefs last week when they lost to San Diego in the 4th quarter. Sauerbrunn got a punt off very similar to that one. And the Chargers, Nate Jaquette brought it back 35 yards, set him up for their winning field goal try. Falk will find his picket line to the outside there. Tabucky Jones actually had the key block that gets him down the sideline.
Who was number 36? He had the key non-block. Usually those calls are played back, but 36 pulled up on a block that would have been a clip. You don't see that decision made often.
Lawyer Malloy.
Lawyer Malloy is
naturally their smartest player.
Patrick Pass picks up 5. That was a 40-yard punt, 35-yard return. Malloy, one of the few guys you'll see who's a Pro Bowler at a position who plays on special teams.
Well, he made a beautiful play there because he was all set up for a clip. They would have called that back, pulled out at the last minute.
2nd down and 6.
No.
Bledsoe throws. That pass is incomplete. Intended for Jackson. Lawyer Malloy playing on a 3-9 team. Here are his thoughts.
I'll be the spoiler because, you know, for one, I want people to feel my pain. And for two, it's football. You know, it's still a contact sport. You can't run and you can't hide from contact. You know, and if you're out there, you know, you can't look for, you know, you can't look past the team. You know, and I really definitely think you can't look past Lawyer Malloy.
Now there's a stud. Lawyer is a stud.
Flag before the
Offside, number 75, defense. The penalty is declined. First
Who's our ref tonight? Abe Pagoda? Who is that thing?
It's Abe Pagoda.
There's Big Chester, offsides. It's kind of his trademark. We've been calling his name. He doesn't have to jump offsides. He's been making plays. And Curtis Jackson gets his first NFL catch. There he is, number 82. Marcus Patton with the tackle, but that's Curtis Jackson's first catch.
I don't know if you want to be 9 years in the league as a defensive lineman and have your trademark being offsides.
Well, this is interesting. Bledsoe looked around as if to call timeout, does, and then it's almost as if he wanted to. And what happened was he didn't have to run a play, and the reason he did that is he could have taken it to the 2-minute warning. So they had an automatic stoppage coming up. Bledsoe wants to call for a timeout, then realizes I don't have to do it, but it was too late. He had signaled back to McElwee, and then McElwee granted him the timeout. So a completely wasted timeout. Here it is.
Yeah, he had a personnel mix-up, and now he's trying to wave it off, but McElwee had already turned his back and signaled timeout Patriots. Frustrating act there for Drew Bledsoe.
And that's their second timeout, so they have one plus the 2-minute warning.
You know, I dig it so much when you get all over something like that. You get so excited, man. It's beautiful.
Meanwhile, let me get all over this here. This is the New England Patriots. As you can see, in '96, that's the last season for Parcells. 11-5, they go to the Super Bowl. Carroll comes in, and you see the diminishing returns: 10 wins, 9 wins, and 8 wins, and now down to 3-9.
So next year they're going into integers,
which is just outside of Providence. On 1st and 10, Bledsoe throws, and it's incomplete for Terry Glenn at the goal line.
Glenn was open too.
But the ball wasn't thrown on rhythm. It was as if Bledsoe was coming back to Glenn as an outlet receiver. You see he's on the move, going to run a post pattern here. Good shake to the outside, gets back to the inside. Kind of slips as he tries to adjust to the ball, and Drew knew he had missed it. Easy touchdown there.
2nd and 10 at the 17. Final play before the 2-minute warning. Bledsoe. Caught. Touchdown. Troy Brown. Wow.
I think some synaptic alarm goes off in a great quarterback's head that they can't throw 2 crap passes in a row. The second one that comes in is so beautiful for Bledsoe.
And that was a beautifully designed play. Charlie Weiss designing that one. Terry Glenn had the short slant route, and Bledsoe threw it right over the top of his head and found Troy Brown in the end zone.
Oh, that is...
Still got the fastball, doesn't he?
Yeah. All the DB could do was play 2-hand touch in the end zone with him.
Adam Vinatieri for the point after. So we come to the 2-minute warning despite the wasted timeout. Bledsoe and Brown.
Best game of the year.
7-point lead, 17-10. Look at the Pats in '94 out of USC, our halftime feature. Also look at the final Bowl Championship Series standings. Preview look at New Year's Day and the first week in January as Mike Cloud brings the kick back to the 30-yard line.
Terry Glenn is going to come right in here, and Brown over the top. Watch how when Glenn hits the middle right there, it opens up behind for Troy Brown, and Bledsoe has both receivers in the same line, and he throws it over the top and gets the easy touchdown. Troy Brown's having a heck of a night for a guy with a bad leg. 6 catches, 64 yards in this touchdown.
Bledsoe in the half, 14 of 21 for 124. Here's Gerback and his 16th pass of the night. is right on the money up to the 45-yard line, where Tony Gonzalez makes the catch. Tony's second catch of the game.
How frustrated was he last week against San Diego when his 44-game streak of catching a pass was ended?
From the 44-yard line, and miscommunication there with Sylvester Morris not turning to look back to Gerbach.
Well, he probably hadn't worked his rhythms out last week with Warren Moon, who hasn't seen much action at all this year. 44, probably Warren's last pass through the league here, unless he ends up kicking for the Skins next year.
Yes. In fact, Moon has dropped from number 2 to number 3 tonight, as Todd Collins, who's been with Kansas City for 3 years now, but hasn't played it down, as the backup to Gerbach. 2nd and 10. Here come the Pats, showing blitz. Gerbach checks off, and then New England winds up rushing 4 as they change defensively, and Tony Gonzalez makes the catch at the 49-yard line.
That's the value of Lawyer Malloy. They came up on the blitz. Gerbach checked out, so Malloy checked out of the blitz to his zone, held him to a short gain.
Now 3rd and 4 from the 49. Now they come, but the Chiefs pick it up. The pass is incomplete. Law covering Derek Alexander.
That is a wonderful defensive sequence for the Patriots. Making the blitz, and now here comes Malloy getting picked up here by Tony Richardson. But the tight coverage on the outside by Ty Law on Derek Alexander right here, as he knew the long pass was coming.
Perfect block by Richardson.
Now Sauerbrunn to punt. With 1:08, the Patriots will get the ball back, and they will have 1 timeout. Brown running and calling for the fair catch and making it to the 23-yard line with 61 seconds remaining in the half. Southwest Airlines providing the aerial coverage, looking down into Foxborough Stadium.
Now, where on this picture will the new one be out? To the right, the left?
New stadium. Let me. There it is. Though Dan has telestrated it.
Or is it over here?
Well,
no, it is over here.
So it's somewhere around.
See, this is the road here.
It is.
Yeah.
Southeast. Bob Kraft putting together what is basically a privately financed stadium, and it's funny. I think back to we were here for a Monday night game 2 years ago, right after the Patriots had announced they were moving to Hartford, and this is Troy Brown up past the 30, out to the 35-yard line, and then they resurrected the possibilities of keeping the stadium either around here in Boston, and Hartford was done, and back they came to Foxborough.
7th catch of the night for Brown. Another big gain, another first down.
From the 35-yard line on first down, Bledsoe throwing. It is caught by Jermaine Wiggins, and Wiggins up to the 47. That's a first down. 29 seconds. Patriots trying to conserve their timeout. There is Bob Kraft, son Jonathan, as New England lets the clock run down to 16. Bledsoe then throws. It is caught by Wiggins, who takes it to the 40. They have to use their timeout here, and they do. But not having that wasted timeout in a way has come back to hurt them a little bit here, because they're still out of field goal range and out of timeouts. Willie McGinnis mic'd up at the half. Sudden death, Bills and Colts. That's preparatory to next week's game. Final BCS standings and matchups coming up to the halftime show. The ball is at the 40 without a timeout now. As they try to get Vinatieri into field goal range, they'll have to run a play to the sideline, which he does, but it's knocked down. Bledsoe has that knocked down by Eric Hicks. And now they're in a position where they'd have to gain enough yardage in 4 seconds and stop the clock to get Vinatieri closer.
They did hit a Hail Mary earlier in the year when Michael Bishop hit Tony Simmons. Similar type of situation. You really have no choice but to put it up. Too far for Vinatieri here. And
it is underthrown and incomplete. even had that been complete and he would have gotten out of bounds, you're still looking at a 55-yard field goal. You're probably better served just throwing it into the end zone, which they can do right now.
Or going for the most incomplete passes in a 9-second period record for the league. It's like their 8th play in 9 seconds.
I don't think that guy's going to win a spelling bee, but we get the idea.
Wow. Correct.
It's a dysfunctional spelling of dysfunction.
That was sagging, Chad.
That was Florida. I want to be the ambassador to the Chad. Final play of the half, barring a defensive foul, which we have. That figures to be offside, so you're going to get 2 free plays. And this one, he didn't even throw it into the end zone, so no matter what happens, it's offside against Kansas City. They have to accept the penalty.
Number 98 defense, 5-yard
to get one more play.
Extend the half. One play.
Now it extends the half, and it also might put Vinatieri in a position where he can attempt a field goal at 52 yards.
Boy, just a mental error by Eric Hicks there, jumping off sides. They're only rushing 3 guys. He's going to have 2 guys to beat to get to the quarterback.
Sure, you got to let Vinatieri go. It's like manna from heaven.
So Vinatieri now with that 5-yard penalty will come out to try to stretch the New England advantage. They will put the ball at the 35-yard line, so we'll see where they set it up. It'll be a 52 or 53-yard attempt for Vinatieri.
Career best is 55 a couple years back against Jacksonville, so this is in his range now.
Well, Al Del Greco had to do the walk of fire yesterday, and this isn't quite as dramatic, but now it's Adams' turn.
He's made 15 straight. This is a 53-yard attempt. Johnson puts it down, and Vinatieri's kick is good. So the defensive foul is a very costly one for Kansas City. Eric Hicks jumping offside gives Vinatieri just enough space, getting it 5 yards closer, and he bangs it through. 20-10. Here's Melissa.
All right, Bill Belichick, you lead by 10. The no huddle's been very effective for you guys. Did you see something in the Chiefs defense you could exploit?
Well, we just wanted to try to pick up the pace a little bit, and you know, the Chiefs do a lot of blitzing, so we thought this might take them out of some of the things they like to do.
All right, Bill, thanks.
Okay.
Let's go over to Eric.
Coach, not a lot of success on offense, a lot of drop passes and bobble passes.
Yeah, I don't understand it. Our guys catch the ball well, and we're dropping that out there. We've had a couple of key catches, supposed to be catches for first down. We dropped them, can't convert. You know, that's a tough thing to do. We got to go talk about it.
Okay, thanks. Good luck. Back to you guys.
Okay, thank you, ED. The Patriots at the half leading the Kansas City Chiefs 20-10. Coming up next, the Toyota halftime show when we come back after this message from the National Football League and a word from our ABC stations.
Hey, how you guys doing?
This.
And back in Foxborough, temperature now in the mid-20s. Back to receive. Larry Parker is 80. Mike Cloud, 34. The guy they would like to return the kick. Adam Vinatieri, who kicked 2 field goals in the first half, extending his streak to 16 straight, putting that 53-yarder at the end. This is a short kickoff, and it's Cloud who comes up to the 18-yard line, gets a block from Parker, and then brings it up to the 35. Resetting the lineup for the Kansas City Chiefs with Gerback at the helm, Anders and Richardson out of the backfield with Morris and Alexander with that long touchdown in the first half. Outside, Gonzalez, the tight end. Tate, Blackshear, Tim Grunhard, Will Shields, and Victor Riley up front. Gerback coming back after a 1-week absence because of that index finger, injured against Buffalo, missing the game in San Diego. Play fake, buys a lot of time, then throws, and it's dropped up at the 49-yard line by Derek Alexander. Take a look at the numbers, Dan, through the first 30 minutes of this competition.
Well, you check out what New England has done on the ground, and you look at the 61 yards, but remember 35 of that came on Terry Glenn's reverse. The passing yardage about equal. Bledsoe 17 out of 26. The time of possession in favor of the Patriots. Those penalties, especially the one at the end of the first half, just killed the Chiefs.
On 2nd and 10, Gerbach has to throw against the grain, and it's swatted away. Bobby Hamilton out of the NBA had that sort of look. 3rd down.
It really did. What an athletic move by Bobby Hamilton. 6'5", 280 pounds, and just chasing down the quarterback and making a play on the ball. That was beautiful.
Numbers for the 2 quarterbacks.
And this number here, the 151, well, remember, Derek Alexander, he's got 3 catches for 100 yards, including that 81-yard bomb, which was a beauty.
Yeah, more than half the yardage on that one pass.
Yeah.
3rd down and 10 from the 35-yard line. 3-man front, but here comes the blitz, and it's caught up at the 41-yard line. Hauled in by Sylvester Morris, but he's well shy of the 1st down. Otis Smith is there for the coverage, and so it's 3 and out for Kansas City.
And again, that's a great defensive call. You bring the blitz, you force the Chiefs to go with their side adjustment, then you come up and make the tackle 4 yards short of the 1st down. Right now, the Bill Belichick and his defensive staff are dialing in the perfect time to blitz and when not to blitz against the Chiefs.
Todd Sauerbrunn to punt. It's Kevin Falk to return it. Good kick. 13-yard line. Falk, and a great open field tackle is made by Mike Maslowski, who did it before. And their special teams coach Mike Stock telling me before the game, he said, he is my main man. He's my gunner, and he's proved it tonight. Tony Gonzalez right there.
And Gonzalez, after getting shut out last week against San Diego, is off to a rough evening against the Patriots. They know he's the #1 receiver. He's got 66 catches on the year so far. Dropped that first pass by Gerbach. Came right back to him on the next play with the completion. But check out the coverage there as Malloy and Kato Serwanga take after Gonzalez, but he's going to fight you.
Is he the best you've seen since Winslow, Dan?
Pass catching tight end, no question.
And this is Falk, who can't get out of the backfield because breaking through was Chester McLaughlin. He blew the play up.
Chester's having a heck of a night. You know, he was offsides at one time, but that's his 6th tackle of the night. That's a big number for a defensive tackle.
Comes out favoring his arm here. They're already minus Dan Williams up front, so those are 2 starters for the moment who are out. And still, Bledsoe will get sacked by Marcus Patton. A safety for Marcus Patton, who last week ran an interception
I think they're going to call
from Ryan Leaf back for a touchdown. Now, what are they going to say? Are they going to say that the momentum took him back into the end zone?
Boy, I don't know about
well,
that.
This is very close. Yes, McElwee is saying that his momentum, the momentum from Patton, pushed him back into the end zone from the 1-yard line.
They've got to challenge this.
Where was the ball when the first contact was made is the critical issue here. Where's the ball when contact is made? It's too late to review. The pass is thrown to Brown, and Brown up to the 14-yard line. When I say review, too late to challenge. But that rule is, where was the ball when the first contact was made?
Oh, is it the same as a touchdown? Because it looked like it was right on the goal line. Does that put you in the end zone if you break the plane on the goal line?
Yes, it does.
Yeah,
if the ball is over the goal line, you're in the end zone.
There's no question the Chiefs blew that one. They've got to challenge that one.
Absolutely.
Gunther's gun shy of the challenge. He hasn't won many over the last couple years, has he?
That's the kind of play you have to challenge. I mean, that's a huge play. Makes it 20-12. You get the ball back after a free kick. Instead, they're going to take the ball here after a Johnson punt. It's fielded at the 41 by Kevin Lockett. And he's out of bounds at the 41. I think you may have hit it on the head. Maybe you are gun shy after you lose a bunch of challenges. Certainly something that should have been challenged here, and they might have won it.
Going.
Kimball Anders picks up 3 there. It'll be 2nd down and 7 at the 39.
Get this horse in the barn. Nobody gets hurt.
Unfortunately, too many of the players are thinking about the same thing. Looks like some of your old Saturday Night Live guys. Is Conehead there? Combination Conehead and Hans and Franz.
I used my girly man reference up earlier.
Second and 7 from the 39-yard line. And this is Anders taking it down to the 35-yard line, where he's tackled by Willie McGinnis. Ty Law in the vicinity. Ty Law, 6th year out of Michigan. He was their #1 pick back in 1995. Ty Law, no stranger to the Pro Bowl.
No, he's not. And you can see the 6-year career, 22 interceptions. And after he catches it, he knows what to do with it. Gets it in the end zone. In fact, he picked one off in the Pro Bowl when he was named co-MVP a couple years back.
3rd down and 3. And it's a fumble. Gerbach lost it, and New England gets it. Tim Grunhard, and that's very uncharacteristic. Grunhard, one of the very best. Ted Johnston recovers the fumble.
Snap was late.
ABC. After the fumble, it is Bledsoe and the Patriots up by 10 to begin this drive from the 37. Bledsoe checks off, throws underneath. It's Terry Glenn who comes back to make the catch. Takes it into Kansas City territory to the 44-yard line.
And remarkably, this is Glenn's second catch of the night. His first one went for a -4 yards, but Bledsoe finds him calmly over the middle. This is what Glenn does so well after the catch.
Meanwhile, this is Falk, who had lined up, flanked out, comes back, makes the catch, takes the ball to the 34-yard line.
Well, I always like Falk when we see him, but he was really deep in Belichick's doghouse, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was fumbling.
Yep, fumbles.
And he wasn't protecting the passer. But he worked hard at it. He's back in there because he's shown that he cares about it. Back in there.
1st and 10. Pats going all night without a huddle. It is thrown underneath the Patrick pass. Pass catches the pass and takes it to the 26-yard line. And, you know, it's interesting here, Dan, in the sense that I can see beginning with the no huddle, but when you lead by 10, you would think maybe they'd go more conventional.
Well, they got nothing to lose. Might as well keep going. It's working. Why stop? It's got the Chiefs on their heels. They're throwing a lot of different types of passes. And Bledsoe, I think, enjoys it.
Right.
I don't know what quarterback doesn't enjoy the hurry up.
And conventional got you to 3 and 9.
2nd down and 3. And that is caught at the 20-yard line by Troy Brown. Having a big night. Takes it to the 9-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal as Troy Brown makes another catch. That's his 9th of the game, and it's 104 yards for him.
Well, this is what Charlie Weiss said. He wanted to use 3 and 4 wide receivers out there and let them run. We have a timeout for an injured player. Patrick Pass went off the sidelines, but that's the only thing that's stopping the Patriots right now. Bob McElwee.
Yeah, Pass was down way back at the 40-yard line. I don't even know how he got back there.
Nobody in the backfield. 1st down and goal. Catch is made. Brown, and Brown takes it to the 6-yard line. 2nd and goal for New England. Steve Martin makes the tackle.
Chiefs have a couple of rookies in their secondary. Greg Wesley, 25, and Pat Dennis, 41. And Bledsoe and Charlie Weiss are going after these guys with the quickness of Glenn and Brown.
2nd down and goal, and taking it inside the 5-yard line is Kevin Falk. 3rd down and goal now with 8:20 to go in the 3rd.
You know what, Dan? I think you're correct when you say that I think Drew Bledsoe's invigorated by this hurry up. How else are you going to get a guy up in this weather at 3 and 9 this late in the season except to give him some toy to play with?
And it's keeping the Chiefs so off balance. They haven't been able to get pressure on Bledsoe. He's only been sacked twice tonight, and it's been a long time since he's been pressured.
And the Chiefs running 4 people in and out on 3rd down and goal from the 4. Jackson in motion. Bledsoe rolling. Throws it back the other way. Caught by Falk, and Falk cannot get into the end zone. That pass just sort of hung like a curveball, like a hanging curve, and he had to wait for it.
Yeah.
And Kansas City was able to defense it at the end.
And I'm not so sure that Falk shouldn't have stayed to the outside. James Hasty did a great job of forcing Falk back to the inside. If he stays to the outside, he's got blockers that may get him to the corner. Damian Woody, 65 out in front. Joe Andruzzi. Falk decides to get it back inside and comes up about a yard shy.
Hasty makes him go back in, though, right?
I don't think so. I think that Woody would have wiped out number 40, James Hasty, right there.
In the meantime, the clock is stopped for an injury here as Joe Andruzzi, the guard, is shaken up.
And Joe's playing with a bad shoulder. This appears to be a leg injury. Ray Rugemer will come in to take his spot. Remember, Andruzzi was out in front, and he gets fallen on right there, that right knee by Kevin Falk. Just an unfortunate, unlucky injury here for Joe Andruzzi. Just doing his job, never seeing Falk, trying to block Wesley out of the way.
You know, when you realize how many scrums occur on an average game, you're surprised that doesn't happen with great regularity.
There's no question, Dennis. This is just plain bad luck.
Yeah, there's Hasty trying to move in. And then Falk rolls up on the back of Andruzzi's leg, and Ray Rugemer comes in at left guard, so he is the replacement here as the Patriots will go for it on 4th down and goal.
So there's the whims of the football gods, Dan. If he had gone outside, as he probably would have been best, he probably would have scored there. Maybe Andruzzi doesn't even get hurt on that play.
But, you know, if you go back to the pass, and Al talked about how the ball kind of hung up in the air, well, Falk was impatient, waiting for the ball to come down. Probably didn't think he had the time to get to the corner of the end zone. And unfortunate things happened in this game.
Must have felt like he was waiting on a punch.
Yeah, you know, Drew's got to get this ball over the top of the defensive lineman right there. That's Dwayne Clemens. And Hasty really does a nice job here, but I think Falk was just a little impatient, waiting for the ball to come down.
Now it's 4th and goal. Remember, Falk on a 4th and goal vaulted into the end zone in the first quarter. Here it's 4th and goal from the 1. And this time it's Bledsoe rolling, throwing, and it's caught for a touchdown by Jermaine Wiggins, who only scores on Monday nights.
Jermaine having a nice night, cutting out a little turf for next year, I would think.
How about 5 catches, 41 yards, and this touchdown as the Steadicam captures Wiggins' 2nd touchdown catch of the year. Beats Jerome Woods for the touchdown.
Did you see that great play Mark Bruner made for the Steelers yesterday?
How about that spike? It went all the way to the end zone from about 20 yards away.
Great. Adam Vinatieri for the point after. Bledsoe on that drive was 7 of 7. Wiggins has scored a touchdown in that Monday night miracle at the Meadowlands for the Jets. Scores one here, 27-10 Pats. Next Monday night to Indianapolis we go. Peyton Manning and company. Bills Colts. Teams trying to stay alive for a wild card spot. Jets Raiders from Oakland, 8:30 ESPN. That's the Sunday night game. 7-yard line. That is taken in by Mike Cloud. Cloud up to the 31-yard line. So with 7 minutes to go in the third. Kansas City a 4-game losing streak and down by 17 after the Wiggins touchdown. Plenty of good eats. North end of Boston, one of the oldest Italian communities in the United States. Looks good.
That tuna tartare you turned me on to was smoking last night.
At Mistral, wasn't that the best? Oh, that looked pretty good too. First down at the 31-yard line for the Kansas City Chiefs as Gerbach throws, and that is caught by Kevin Lockett, and he is run out of bounds up at the 46-yard line. First down, KC.
Let me ask you this.
Yes,
now,
sir.
they come in here 4 losses in a row, KC. They look rather desultory tonight. You think they've taken a powder on Gunther for the rest of the season?
I don't think they've taken a powder on Gunther, but this is a team that has to begin to take some serious looks at personnel and a few other things right now. The 46-yard line, Tony Richardson up to the 47. They were a hot team from the 3rd week through mid-season, but now it's a whole other story for the Kansas City Chiefs, who certainly had legitimate playoff aspirations when the season began.
Gunther's a nice man, so intense though. Might be it's they're tuning him out.
Second down and 8. Gerbach throws into traffic, and a flag comes in. 3 blue shirts surrounding Gonzalez, and Tony is saying, hey man, it can't be against me.
I'm surprised to see a referee hit a player with a flag with that whole thing hanging over that one ref's head.
Well, this is amazing that Gerbach would throw this ball into Gonzalez. Katosa Wanga's 31. There's Tabucky Jones 34. Lawyer Malloy 36. And I don't believe they're throwing a flag on that. I think they interfere with each other.
That looks like
Gonzalez alone here.
That looked like something out of Gulliver's
Defensive
Travels.
pass interference, number 34. First down.
You think he has faith in Tony Gonzalez's ability to go out and get the ball when he throws into that sort of coverage?
Jones is the guy they called for the infraction. That's a first down at the 23-yard line. .30-yard penalty. Gerbach tonight has thrown for 172 yards. 11 of 23, and there's a flag before the snap.
Gonzalez way offside on that play.
Snap, false start, number 88, offense. 5 yards, first down.
If Gerbach gets around 315 yards tonight, you're talking about a 10-game period where he averages 300 yards. That doesn't happen that often.
He may have to get 300 yards if they're going to get back in this game, Dennis.
First and 15 at the 27-yard line. Gerbach throwing, picked off, 4-yard line. That's Otis Smith. And Smith into Kansas City territory, banged down by Richardson at the 36-yard line.
Just a bad pass.
Well, it is. It's 2 bad decisions in a row for Gerbach throwing the ball. Forcing it to Gonzalez, then trying to hit Morris on that one. Otis, my man, Smith comes away with it.
Otis Smith with his first pick since 1998, a timely one. Foxborough game time temperature was 29 degrees. It's a lot chillier than that right now. My body's thermostat would tell me it is 18.
I don't know what you're running on, Bane. Castor oil or what? I'm freezing over here. You got a sweater set on.
Pennzoil. This is Falk making the catch.
Watch Gerbach trying to force this ball on the deep corner route to Sylvester Morris. Underthrows Morris and hits Smith perfectly. First interception of the year and the first one in a long time.
Since 98, that's a 56-yard run back as well for one of several ex-Jets.
Well, he showed some nice touch not having it intercepted by Lawyer Malloy. Got it right over Malloy to Smith.
Little toss back to Falk. Nicely designed play. Picks up the first down. Takes the ball to the 27-yard line. 5:20 remaining in the third.
One of the best running plays of the night for the Patriots. They use their screen passes much like a long sweep play. Charlie Weiss says if they don't tackle, we're going to get a big play out of it. They've got a lot of them tonight.
Falk again. You know, you guys are just big babies.
Yeah, but we're war babies.
Huh?
This is like an Aloha shirt night. What do you
Dan and I are like we've been in a soccer team wreck in the Andes, and you're sitting there like Matt Helm. What happened here?
Adrian Clem and I were going back to the Big Island. Simple as that. Look at you guys. Come on.
Which 7-Eleven should we knock off tonight?
Ixnay, Muggsy.
Second down and 10 from the 29-yard line. Bledsoe throws. It's caught. They love running plays like that. Curtis Jackson close to a first down. Been running those patterns a good part of the night, Dan.
Well, the thing is it'll either be a 5-yard game. If they miss a tackler, then they go 10 yards or maybe even 15.
Now, don't you think Belichick should remember this loose vibe, this nice rhythm, take it in the next season, maybe not be so intense?
It's kind of like when we saw him at Canton. He was loose. The team was up. They played well against the 49ers in an exhibition game, but they're looking awful loose tonight. They should, like they're having a lot of fun.
Yeah, they should come out of the box like this next year.
Third down, 3 as Bledsoe throws. That is caught. Carter comes out of the backfield. But there's Maslowski having a big night on special teams and defensively, who wraps them up. See where they spot, and it's going to be close to a first down. McElwee comes over to take a look. See where they spot the forward progress here. And McElwee is going to ask for a measurement.
You know, the fans are going to want him to go for it on 4th down if they're short. But look at the time to throw for Bledsoe. A quick 5-step drop that time, and the tempo that they have established tonight with the no huddle has really helped his offensive line and give him a lot of good pass protection.
I don't want to hear any of this garbage about Bledsoe not being the quarterback here. They realize how lucky they are to have this guy at age 28. I mean, nobody in the team said it, but a lot of the local buzz is, what do you do about Bledsoe? What you do is tie him up for another 6 years. This guy's the bomb.
There's no question. There's a lot of bad quarterbacking going on in the NFL, but when your team is 3-9, people are going to point at the coach and then at the quarterback. Well, the quarterback's been here a lot longer than the coach has. He's going to get a lot of the criticism.
Aerial coverage provided by Southwest Airlines, floating high above Foxborough Stadium.
You can win a Super Bowl with Drew Bledsoe. You can't say that about every quarterback in this league.
4th and 1. The Pats this season are 9 for 9 on 4th and 1. Like an old Dallas reset.
Like the June Taylor dancers.
Ooh, and Bledsoe, after resetting the formation, takes a timeout.
And he took that timeout when he had 7 seconds still left on the play clock.
Yeah.
Must have been all screwed up with that Dallas shift.
Yes. So 4th and 1. And in the meantime, they were so screwed up that Adam Vinatieri is going to come in to attempt a field goal. Next week, it's the Buffalo Bills, the Indianapolis Colts. Two teams pretty desperate right now for a win. The winner figures to stay alive. The loser is all but gone after next week's game, Buffalo against Indianapolis.
Yeah, there's too many teams to get over, Al. The team that loses that might still be mathematically in, but there's a lot of teams between them and getting into the playoffs. A lot of teams at that 9-7 marker, close to it, 10-6.
You can see the two teams were tied 10-10 tonight at one point, but New England has now reeled off 17 consecutive points, trying to make it 20 as Adam Vinatieri comes in to attempt a 37-yard field goal out of Lee Johnson's hole.
Vinatieri ought to attempt a 37-yard field goal.
Vinatieri finally misses. He had made 16 straight, including the 53-yarder. And this one, a relative chip shot compared to what he did at the end of the first half, is wide to the right.
That looked like a Massey shot, Al. It had a little out to the right to it. Then at the end, it seemed to veer back into the left a little. He threw the Scroogey.
Perfectly described, then Dill.
Bird hitting with the slurve.
27-10, and Kansas City gets it back now at the 27-yard line. Kansas City.
What is this? Beard growth graphic, or what is it?
This is Elvis Gerback, who's going to take off and slide to a halt up at the 31-yard line.
Run that graphic down for me, Bino. That scared me.
Scared me too. I'm so scared I'm going to Eric. Edie, what do you have?
Well, Al, let me tell you, I've played these type of games before. These are some of the hardest type of games to play in. It's cold outside. You're not going to the playoffs. You also have players that are thinking about, I don't want to get hurt because I don't want to spend my whole offseason in rehab. You have other players that are thinking, I might not be here next year and I might get a chance to go someplace else. So believe me, these are very hard games to play in.
And there are some guys that have already packed up and got the U-Haul ready to take the long drive home.
You mean take the ballots up to Tallahassee?
Take them back.
How much was the guy from U-Haul hating that Ryder truck taking them up? I was just trying to think of him at home.
Yeah.
Thinking, I got to fire my product placement person.
3rd down and 7. Patriots blitzing, pass caught. Lockett makes the catch, takes it out of bounds at the 43, first down. Check in with Melissa. That's Alexander making the catch.
Al, I talked to tight end Tony Gonzalez yesterday. He said one of the reasons why he thinks he's having so much success this season is because in practice he is working out with the wide receivers. He wants to learn the precise art of route running. He's trying to learn about head fakes, and he thinks this has helped him tremendously. He says, you know, I've always been able to rely on my speed, which is something I can rely on, but I'm trying to take it a step further. He thinks it's made all the difference, and of course he leads tight ends in receptions, yards, and touchdowns.
Trying to win another trip to Hawaii is one Tony Gonzalez. There's another Tony Richardson, picks up 9 here to the 48 of New England.
Well, you know, Gonzalez doesn't mind being 5 and 7 as long as he's having a good year sexually.
Second and 1.
No.
Might as well be 0 and 12. This is Tony Richardson making the catch. He picks up the first down to the 34-yard line. Tackled by Tony George.
95 for New England, just got obliterated.
95 is Henry Thomas.
Yeah, him too. Oh. Did you see him back there? He came in like a piece of driftwood. He got Johnny Stompanado'd by somebody.
Looks like John Tate is injured for the Chiefs. Here's Richardson on that screen pass. Well set up by the Chiefs. Richardson cutting to the middle of the field, and if it's not for Tony George, number 41, running him down, he might have got all the way inside the 10.
Needing some attention right now. That is John Tate, who was their top pick, the left tackle out of Brigham Young.
Do you think some frontier justice was exacted on Tate for that play in the first half, or does it happen too quickly, Dan?
Well, I don't know, Dennis. We talk a lot about karma and things and how things even out here. Good sign that Tate's on his feet and walking off the field, although with a limp. Some type of problem with that right leg, but remember, he did dive at the legs of Brandon Mitchell, and Brandon was carted off the field earlier in the game.
If a player consistently dives at people's legs from behind over the course of the season, is there a grapevine where the word gets out and some interfamilial discipline takes place?
Well, all these games are on tape, and the camera doesn't lie, as the players like to say, and you see everything. And you make little notes, and you say, payback is a you-know-what.
The Chiefs defeating them. Remember, they beat the Rams 54-34. Here comes New England again on a jailbreak blitz, but the catch is made by Gonzalez, who goes one-on-one with Law, gets position on Ty, then picks up the first down.
That's the real danger of going after Gerbach with a full blitz, as the Patriots did that time. You leave Gonzalez one-on-one, and even the great corner, Ty Law, couldn't make the play on the ball.
Kansas City without a huddle, 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. Gerbach, and that is incomplete, in and out of the hands of Alexander. He's covered by Law.
And he's frustrated. The ball delivered too late. That allowed Law to make a play on the ball. Elvis with a little hitch step there. Great reaction time by Ty Law. But Alexander was open. Law came back on the late pass.
You know, when you say the Chiefs went without a huddle, Al, it makes me pine for the old Kansas City huddles that Henry Stram can try. I always thought it had such a nice aesthetic to it, that sort of choir master thing Lenny Dawson did.
Just ran into Lenny in the hole outside at halftime. 2nd down and 10. And Gerbach doing a nice job with a tight rope taking it to the 13 before he's forced out by Chad Eaton.
That was worthy of Carl Walenda there.
Man, that was some great speed by Gerbach.
The great Walenda.
Watch him run away. These are defensive linemen, I know that, but he's still running away from him. Chad Eaton, number 90. Greg Spires, number 94. And Spires leads this team in sacks.
Ballet work at the end to pick up an extra couple of yards.
He's working on that Fauci beard.
He doesn't have it anymore. Saw him last night. He's clean shaven. Looks like Al.
My 5 o'clock shadows taking full effect here. 3rd down and 2. Gerbach juggled and all night long, juggling, catches, drops. Tony Gonzalez and Ty Law again that time.
You have the 5 o'clock shadow at 10 a.m. though.
I have it right after I shave.
Ty Law is going to be seeing shadows all tomorrow. Another play where he might have had an interception. How does Gonzalez keep this ball alive? Great break on the ball by Law. Gets his left hand in there. But that basketball pushing off by Gonzalez gets him a fantastic catch.
And that is the end of the third quarter, with the Patriots leading Kansas City 27-10. And Monday Night Football from Foxborough returns after this message from our ABC. Start the fourth quarter in Foxborough. Al Michaels, Dan Faust, Dennis Miller, Eric Dickerson, and Melissa Stark. First and goal, KC down by 17. Ball is given to Bennett, and Donnell Bennett takes it to the 4-yard line, where it'll be second and goal.
Hey, take a look at how Gonzalez and Alexander are doing. Remember, Alexander had 3 catches for 100 yards in the first half, so the Patriots have done a good job on him. Gonzalez starting to get hot there. That was a fantastic catch he just made to end the third quarter.
Second and goal now for the Chiefs, trying to stay alive in the game early in the fourth. Bennett again. Knifing in is Teddy Bruschi. Nice play to submarine tackle him at the line of scrimmage. Third and goal.
Well, a guy named Bruschi is obviously going to put his head on a lot of people.
A little slow getting up, but Teddy Bruschi from the left side of the screen actually just shoots the gap there right over the center. I don't understand why the Chiefs are trying to run the ball 2 plays in a row. They haven't done anything on the ground tonight.
Third down and goal from the 4. Gerbach throws, dumps it off for Gonzalez. Beautiful little lob pass.
And the little look off was sweet too by Elvis.
Now they fake the screen to the weak side, fake the screen to the strong side, and snuck Gonzalez right down the middle. Watch him look to the left side, then he fakes to the right, and here comes Gonzalez.
Oh, that is a sweet play.
Well designed by Jimmy Ray, offensive coordinator for the Chiefs.
That's designed by I.M. Pei.
Look at the touch by Gerbach, knowing that Gonzalez is wide open, give him a very easy catch.
Peterson for the point after. So KC staying alive. Chiefs draw to within 10. 13:43 to go in Foxborough. Ours too, Dano.
Wow.
Yeah, really.
Sauerbrun's kick fielded at the 10-yard line by Curtis Jackson. And the 27-year-old Rook takes it back up to the 35-yard line. 13:33 left in the fourth. 27-17 Patriots. 27-17 in frosty New England, where the temperature, I guarantee, has dropped from 29 to, I'm saying, 16 now.
Yeah, it's getting Antarctic up there.
From the 34-yard line. Bledsoe turns and gives it to Falk. Now New England has been going without a huddle all night long with a 10-point lead. They're still going to go without the huddle.
Yeah, it's worked.
Hurry up.
It's worked for them, Al. You don't want to change the tempo that you have established. It's been good enough to get you 27 points.
So if they get into their 2-minute drill, they'll go slow, right?
This is Brown. That's a first down. But let me ask you, at what point do you now go conventional? Because now you have to start thinking about the clock pretty soon.
And they don't have a conventional offense. They don't have a running game. This is their running game. Throwing the screens out to their wide receivers. A couple of trap plays up inside. But right now, because of their personnel and the game plan that Charlie Weiss has designed, this is their best chance for success.
Don't you at least want to use those 40 seconds up between plays, though?
From the 46-yard line, that pass is incomplete.
No, I think that takes you out of your rhythm. It allows the Chiefs to make the calls that they want to make. Now Drew says, let's get back in the huddle. So they're showing their versatility here. But that incomplete pass obviously stops the clock. So they're not slowing things down there.
Well, why don't they hold up for 35 seconds and then hurry up the last 5?
Okay.
ESPN Sports Center after the game, highlights of tonight's game, reports from around the NFL on ESPN. Second down and 10 from the 46-yard line. Bledsoe in this half 12 of 13 for for 86 yards, and he's 13 of 14 as Tony Simmons makes the catch and picks up the first down. Tony Simmons.
Every time the Chiefs have tried to blitz Drew Bledsoe tonight, he has read it and delivered the ball. Simmons comes on a slant route inside here on William Barty. Ball is perfectly thrown. Great touch on that ball. They beat the blitz, pick up a first down.
Well, getting inside on Billy Barty, not the hardest thing in the world.
From the 40-yard line, this is Bledsoe. He's now 31 of 41 after that completion to Tony Carter for a gain of 6.
He's just in a game of catch right now, Al. When he has his rhythm like that, it's pitch and catch.
266 yards.
There's the new pylons.
Yeah, way to watch the monitor, big boy. I love it.
Passing yardage surprisingly even.
42. Second and 3. Falk picks up the first down, taking it inside the 30 to the 29.
The New England Patriots are a machine. You can't hope to stop them, Al.
Can only hope to contain them.
Only throw Dan Patrick in front of them.
You are one sick puppy.
Danny Patrick just sat up in his undies at home. Honey, I'm on the big show. Love you, Dana. That Sunday conversation, Oriana Palaci like.
How many Danos do you know?
From the 29. That's McLaughlin rolling him down for no gain.
And there's your conventional offense.
Chet came to play. Is he in a contract year here, or what's happening?
He's made a ton of tackles tonight. Here he is, big number 75. Working against Saleh Isaiah. Just throws him to the side. And Falk has no chance.
Boy, imagine if he had played to his max and Oakland was still out there with Darrell Russell, that squad.
Second down and 10 from the 30-yard line. Bledsoe chase, throws, incomplete. Third down. I'm talking about Chester McLaughlin, started his career with the Oakland Raiders.
He got off to a rough start in the first half. He was being handled pretty well by the double team blocking of the Patriots, but came up with 5 tackles in the first half, including a sack. Could not block him one-on-one. Here's his sack, 45th of his career. Now in his 9th year out of Clemson. Big Chet.
Third and 11. Bledsoe chased, and he gets it away before Eric Hicks can take him down almost to midfield. And McElwee throws the flag at the end of the play. And he won't get away with what he tried to do. It's intentional grounding.
Now, if you notice the offense that they're running, they were trying to take time off the clock. They got the ball over midfield. Their last 3 plays have been terrible. This penalty will be marked off from about the 48-yard line. So they lose the down and now an extra 10 yards.
And this was one of those late calls where McElwee didn't throw the flag initially, as you can see.
Wow.
When thought about it, then threw the flag, and this play started at the 30, so that sack takes them out of field goal range and brings Lee Johnson into punt to Kevin Lockett. So instead of a possible 3, they'll give it back to Kansas City at the 22 after Lockett makes the fair catch with 9:34 left in the 4th. And Kansas City still trying to hang in, down 27-17. Black Rose is one of the many Irish bars in Boston, home to the largest concentration of colleges in the world.
I was down there last night. I got stomped viciously by some locals. A lot of fun.
You were with me last night. It didn't happen. From the 21-yard line, Gerbach throws, and that's incomplete. You know, the big story in the NFL today, the firing of Norv Turner. Daniel Snyder of the Washington Redskins pulling the plug after Turner saw his team lose yesterday. Eddie Murray's field goal attempt coming up short at the end. So Norv is gone. Terry Robisky, who was the passing game coordinator, takes over at least through the balance of this season. And Dan, I want to talk to you about a guy you've known for a long time, Norv Turner. On 2nd down and 10 is Gerbach. Comes out of the pocket, then throws, and the catch is made by Gonzalez. What do you know about Norv, Dan?
Well, I talked to him this afternoon, and he was in good spirits. I think he's such a classy guy. He handled a very difficult situation with the Redskins with a lot of class. Had his team competitive each week. He can't kick field goals for him, though. But I guarantee you one thing, Norv Turner will be employed real soon, either at the college level or in the NFL. He is a great mind and a great man.
1st and 10 from the 33-yard line. And that pass is incomplete, intended for Morris, who's covered by Otis Smith.
What about that jerk at the Skins press conference yesterday, getting in Norv's face? These guys have no bedside manner. I mean, okay, you know, season's not working out. Can't you wait till Monday before you lay into the guy?
It'll be helpful once in a while. Plenty of jerks around the country.
Well, you know, we've met him 3 times this year. He's a classy guy. You know, he's got a great offensive mind. The alchemy didn't, or the chemistry didn't work there for some reason, but give him a break. He was florid. He was irritated. Why jump him then?
2nd and 10 from the 32. That's caught. Sylvester Morris, and then he loses the football, and it's picked up by Tony George, and he takes the ball to the 9-yard line. Otis Smith stripped it, and then Tony George runs it all the way back deep into Kansas City territory.
Well, Morris is going to pick up a 1st down. 2 huge plays tonight for Otis Smith. Got the interception in the 2nd quarter, and then he strips the ball from Sylvester Morris. A rookie mistake for Sylvester. Good job by Gerbach buying some time. Watch the right-hand tomahawk here as Otis Smith comes in and knocks it out.
You know, Tony,
Tony George.
Tony George was looking for the end zone. He wanted to see that checkered flag.
That's just a veteran move by Otis with the right hand punching the ball loose. And the ball somehow stays inbounds for Tony George to pick it up.
From the 11-yard line. New England trying to stretch a 10-point lead as Bledsoe keeps it on the ground, and he gives it to Kevin Falk, who's tackled by Mike Maslowski.
Now this is a case where the Patriots will take time off the clock. They are in field goal range. They would up their lead to 13 points with a Vinatieri field goal, so Drew will milk the clock as much as possible.
Drew taking, or will take, the 40-second play clock as far down as he can on 2nd down, 9 from the 10-yard line. Snap it at 6. And this is Falk. Gain of 1. Maslowski again with the tackle as we tick down to 8 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. Kevin Falk, like Marshall Falk, grew up in Louisiana. They're not related, though. Marshall went to San Diego State. Kevin went to LSU. Third and 8 from the 9. Bledsoe hit as he throws and almost intercepted. James Hasty almost had another pick. Last week he had a pick. Steve Martin put the pressure on.
See some of those career interception fumble stats on Hasty. They're preternatural. He's got 45 interceptions over his career
and 24 fumble recoveries. That's an incredible combination. It really is.
Last week he had an interception, a fumble recovery, and a sack in the win against San Diego. Here's Vinatieri with a 27-yard field goal attempt. Lee Johnson puts it down, and Vinatieri will begin another streak after he had missed his last attempt. Snap a streak of 16 straight. George helped set it up, and Otis Smith as well, 30-17. Crowd is responding. Dennis during the commercial was chanting retroactive tax cuts. Thus that response.
Wow. I thought they were chanting Dennis because they like me. Then when I saw him pull the knotted rope out, I began to worry.
Hey, there's a Raider fan down in there. Look at that.
There's a Raider fan everywhere, man. Those guys are loyalists.
Vinatieri's kick fielded at the 3-yard line by Mike Cloud. Up past the 30. And Cloud crawls his way out to the 39-yard line. 7:10 remaining in the fourth. New England on top of Kansas City 30-17. Tiger Woods, David Duval will team up to represent the United States at the World Golf Championships, the ENC World Cup. Coverage Saturday, 2 o'clock Eastern and Pacific, right here on ABC.
Al,
so did we.
Can I ask you something?
Yes.
Does Joe Lieberman look like C.W. Moss, Michael J. Pollard's character from Bonnie and Clyde, or is that just me?
A little bit. Gerback throws, hit as he throws, and the pass is incomplete, intended for Gonzalez.
Just interesting array of characters we've seen over these last few weeks, huh?
And
Mr. Carville, Jimmy Carville, more nervous ticks than a Belfast parking valet.
Bada bing.
Bada boom.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Bada boom.
Thank you, Dad.
You got it.
2nd and 10 from the 39-yard line. Gerback. That's caught up at the 41-yard line by Alexander, who's taken down by Lawyer Malloy.
Lawyer Malloy was like an ICBM coming in on that one from his safety position. He saw it the whole way.
Cam, look at it there. Tony George, meanwhile, shaken up on the play and a little slow in getting back into the New England secondary.
Yeah, they're going to make him go off the sidelines now because Bob McElwee called for an injury timeout. George came on the blitz that time.
Tony George, who had the fumble return to set up the Vinatieri field goal. Gives us a chance. There are the specifications. The Cam, just 2 inches long, 1/4-inch lens, 2-pounder. And you don't plug it in, Dennis, in case you were wondering.
And Jeff Rice is wearing it for us tonight.
3rd down and 7. Gerback, he is hit as he throws. So twice in 3 attempts here. Hit as he releases, and that pass is incomplete. It'll be 4th down.
That was Greg Spires with the big hit on Gerback that time. Here he is, number 94, coming around the corner on Gerback. Look at Gonzalez, almost getting back to make the catch.
So 4th down and 7 now, as Sauerbrunn will punt. Kevin Fogg to return it. Fair caught, 18-yard line. With 6.5 to go in regulation.
Kevin Falk got the Patriots their first touchdown on this 1-yard misdirection as he goes up over the top. Kansas City comes right back. This beautiful 81-yard touchdown pass from Gerback to Alexander. Then Troy Brown with a 17-yarder over the middle. Jermaine Wiggins gets his first touchdown reception as a Patriot. And then Tony Gonzalez gets in. That brought the score to 27-17. Vinatieri's 27-yard field goal, and that's why we're 30-17 with 6.5 to go.
From the 18-yard line on 1st down. Little toss back to Falk. And he takes it back up to the 27-yard line and is able to stay in bounds to keep the clock rolling. And James Hasty is hurt on the play.
Yeah, and Hasty's trying to come up and force this play. He's going to get run over. Troy Brown. There's Maslowski dragging down Falk, but this appears to be a right knee injury for James Hasty. This is what Eric Dickerson was talking about players this time of the season when you're in this type of situation getting injured. Looked like he got stepped on. That's a good sign. If that's just a player stepping on his knee, that's a whole lot better than tearing up a ligament or a cartilage.
That would break Gunther's heart. He talks about this kid like he's a son.
Hasty he's been a lot of fun to watch since 1988 when he came up with the New York Jets. Played with them for 7 years. And there's a certain symmetry to his career because he's now spent 7 years in Kansas City. As we mentioned before, 45 interceptions, 24 fumble recoveries for the veteran out of Washington State. AFC playoff picture right now, as of the moment, Miami, Tennessee, and Oakland leading their respective divisions at 10-3. Remember, there are 2 byes. The teams that finish seeded 1 and 2 will have the wild card weekend off. The team with the worst record among the division winners would have to play a wild card game. Baltimore, Denver, and the Jets. Right now, if the season were to end today, would be the other 3 teams going in, and you can see the teams that are still in play.
No doubt still in the stocking. I'd beware of Baltimore, my friend, unless Trent Dilfer flakes on him. That team, they come to the ball.
Sometimes I just have to do a complete guffaw, and I don't give a damn if somebody says I'm laughing too much.
Yeah,
that was great. That was a hell of a line.
You get out of a good line like that right into football stuff.
Well, you got to drop it and move on. It's
second down and 1, and this is Falk taking it up to the 30-yard line. So Hasty back on the sideline, and we'll try to get a report on James as we look at the NFC playoff picture. Minnesota on top. They'll go to St. Louis next week. Giants in New Orleans, division leaders. Philadelphia, Tampa Bay, and Detroit right now in position to be the wild card teams. And those 4 teams, St. Louis, Washington, Carolina, and Green Bay, if the season were to have ended after tonight's games, would be out. Of course, with 3 more weeks to go and a huge game coming up for the Rams against Minnesota next week. Still much to be determined.
Carolina right where they want to be.
It is 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
When Gunther Cunningham goes to a toss-up cap, you know it's cold.
8-6. Melissa, what do you have?
Mike Maslowski has made a number of big plays tonight. The Chiefs like to call him the Kurt Warner of their defense. He went to a really small school, Division III Wisconsin lacrosse. He played in the Arena League for San Jose. He played in NFL Europe for Barcelona, then made the Chiefs. Last year, he won the team's Rookie of the Year award. In the offseason, he went into Coach Gunther Cunningham's office, said, "Coach, I'm going to be a starter next year." Cunningham said, "Well, that's great. Those are great expectations. I like your goals, but we've got 3 great linebackers." Well, sure enough, his goals weren't that too off. This is his 3rd NFL start.
Mike Maslowski, big night tonight, been calling his name a lot.
You know, Mike Maslowski's always been an enigma to me, but I feel like I know him a little now. I feel, well, maybe Buddy is pushing it a little, but I feel like I've got some insight into the Maslowski mind.
You can get some more by sending your questions to Melissa. Read Torrey Holt's NFL Diary at ESPN.com. Kansas City just took a timeout to conserve some time on the clock, and Carter can't make the catch here, and they cannot pick up any yardage nor move the clock with 5:06 remaining in regulation. The aforementioned information right there.
And good news for Kansas City, number 40, James Hasty, is back in the lineup and back out on the field for the Chiefs.
Ba-ba-boo. Ba-ba-boo. They're chanting for Dano now.
Well, I tell you what, you buy a couple of guys a beer, you know, at halftime, this is what you get.
You bet. Third down and 5. And this is Rutledge seeking the first down and has it. So he picks up the first down with 5 minutes to go. Kansas City has been forced to use a timeout defensively, but of course, if you're going to use your timeouts defensively, you're best served to stop the team 3 and out, which they cannot do. And they were out of bounds, as we have brought out a couple of times this year. When you go out of bounds before the 5-minute mark, they wind the clock. So a particularly big play for the Patriots here.
That rule gives me the vapors.
You'll get over it.
A lot of things give you the vapors. This is Falk to the 43.
Where's Gino Cappelletti?
Where is he? He's in the stadium tonight.
In the booth next door, calling the game on the Patriots radio network.
Now, what's your take on Gino? Huh? I'm thinking Gino Cappelletti could be a dark horse Hall of Famer. I don't know why he hasn't been in consideration. Did a little homework this week, boys. Bear with some of these stats. 42 TDs, 176 field goals, 342 PATs, 1,130 points, 17th all-time scoring, 155 points in one season. Led the AFL in scoring 5 times, 292 catches, 4,600 yards, 5 Pro Bowls, only one of 3 men to play all games in the 10-year history of the AFL. Now, I know Horning's got 2 players of the year, a lot of championships, but you put this guy up against some of Horning's stats. I think if this guy's an NFL player as opposed to a charter AFL guy, I think he's in the Hall. Just wanted to make a pitch for him. There you go, Gino.
And that was Dan with the telestrator, and Dan knows what the HOF is all about.
No greater honor for a football player, and he deserves it.
2nd and 10 from the 43. This is Falk. That's a career-high 22nd carry for Kevin Falk. 22 carries tonight, but for only 53 yards.
I'm getting looked at by the seniors committee for the broadcaster.
Yes, you are.
As a matter of fact. Huh? I'm hoping to go in with Al DeRogatis.
Take you down to Salisbury, North Carolina. We'll see what we can do.
D-Ro, is he beautiful, him and Kurt? Now, that was a good announcing team, huh?
Southwest Airlines, aerial coverage. You're speaking of Kurt Gowdy. This is his home area.
Oh, that's
I love
right.
Kurt.
He was
marvelous man, fabulous announcer.
Calling the AFL.
Yes, and his son, you know, Kurt Jr. has been a long-time producer at ABC Sports, Dennis. I bet you didn't know
I
that.
haven't crossed this path. I'm the new one here, so maybe I'll meet him someday.
So introduce you to a few of our executives. Take you into business affairs one day. Get your expense account taken care of.
I don't want to shock either of you guys, but this game has been over for 10 minutes.
Well, for a lot of people, it was over when they went to a 47th point.
No, I mean, it's actually over.
So I know what you're talking about.
Recovered by Kansas City for a first down.
There's a turning
point. We also have Kansas City taking their last charge timeout. 30-second timeout.
Change of possession, clock stops anyway. Why would they call timeout?
Exactly, and you heard Maslowski say, do we have to take it?
No charge timeout to Kansas City.
And apparently they don't have to take it.
No, they don't.
That was very interesting because McElwee said it's a timeout. You heard Maslowski with McElwee's mic open saying, do we have to take it? And upon reflection, they did not have to. Here's another look.
Well, Falk's carrying the ball in a crowd. He looks like he has it pinned close to his body, but it does come out before his knee hits the ground, and the Chiefs are diving for it at the bottom there. It looks like Wesley got it.
So last gasp now for KC, down by 13, and they get the ball to Gonzalez, who takes it to the 18-yard line on the first down.
Boy, and the Patriots still coming with pressure and getting burned. Bruschi on the blitz, too late to get Gerback. Gonzalez has a huge gain.
A lot of weird timeout scenarios tonight, huh, Al?
Every week, it seems. 1st and 10 from the 19-yard line. Gerback for the end zone, and it's caught for a touchdown by Kevin Lockett. So, almost a phantom fumble. A recovery by Kansas City right down the field in no time at all. And they're within a touchdown.
And the Patriots believed Dennis Miller when he said this game was over 10 minutes ago. They have quit playing. Look at the secondary here. They all stop when this ball's in the air. Simple route. Lockett beats double coverage for the touchdown.
Now, I'm not sure I said the game was over. I think you're parsing words there, Mr. Boyce.
Todd Peterson for the extra point. And so all of a sudden Cunningham's team with 3:58 and 1 timeout and a 2-minute warning down by 6.
Just another Monday night in the big city.
Yeah, well, Falk's fumble recovered by Greg Wesley. And then Gerbach in 2 plays gets him into the end zone.
And as brilliant as the defensive calls have been all night for the Patriots, they get burned on the blitz as Gerbach hits Gonzalez, and now Lockett, just his 2nd touchdown catch of the year, defeats double coverage for the easy score.
Well, I think the Patriots are going to have to go back into their hurry up and run out the clock.
It sounds crazy, but since they got out of the hurry up offense, they've done absolutely nothing.
Take a look at the Pats going into the 4th quarter. In the history of the team, that's 41 seasons. When they've led by 17 or more, they have never lost. 1 game wound up in a tie. The other half of the story, when you look at the Kansas City end, and they've been around as long as the Pats, coming into the AFL in 1960, when they've trailed by 17 or more going into the 4th, 0-55.
But wouldn't most teams have similar records on those 2 counts?
Well, yeah, yes, but not zeros. I mean, normally there'll be a couple of miracle comebacks.
Right.
But in this particular case, one team has not lost and the other has not won. This is a short kick. It is taken at the 16-yard line by Curtis Jackson, and Jackson slithers his way up to the 34-yard line with 3:47 remaining in regulation. The doctor tries to heal people, but how hard will he try if he can't tolerate the patient? Critics agree. This is the hospital show to watch, and you know about those critics, Dennis.
Huh?
Andre Brower stars in Gideon's Crossing Wednesday at 10 o'clock, 9 Central on ABC.
Gideon's Crossing pattern. It's the critics' pick play.
Chiefs, as you can see, down 20-10 at the half, down 27-10, end of 3, but have shaved off 11 points here in the 4th quarter. In. There he is at running back. He has not carried the ball tonight. And Bledsoe's going to go to the air and tries to get it to Shaw, and that's incomplete. You know, this is where the lack of a running game really does then kill you. You can't take time off the clock.
Well, Shaw was supposed. Oh, sorry, Dennis.
Well, Dennis, the Patriots have 100 yards rushing, but remember, 35 of those 100 yards came on 1 reverse to Terry Glenn. No running game. This is where it really kills you, trying to run out the clock.
And even with a gain by Glenn, they're still averaging less than 4 yards per carry as Troy Brown fights his way up to the 43-yard line. Great effort by Brown to come close to picking up a 1st down.
And he caught a beautiful block out there in the corner from, I can't figure these numbers out. Watch this guy. That guy, 49. Is it 49?
Jermaine Wiggins, Dennis. And, you know, this has been about, what, 15 of these wide receiver screens. Charlie Weiss says that he's got to run it because they don't have a regular running game.
That's
like
their,
a sweep play.
Yeah, that's their pitch play.
It really is. Now, they convert this play for the 1st down. The ball game's over.
Hey, Wiggins has had a sweet night, hasn't he?
He certainly has for his 1st game with the Patriots.
Well, there's Brown with 12 catches tonight. Terry Glenn with 13 last year in 1 game, the New England team record. And the timeout here is for a measurement.
That was a heck of an effort by Brown to get this close to a 1st down.
Great.
Like he was stopped about 5 yards short of this. This is where Bledsoe is so valuable. At 240 pounds, 6'5", he's already converted on 1 quarterback sneak tonight. I wouldn't be surprised to see him try one right here.
Huge play now for the Kansas City defense, in as much as if they can convert here, Chiefs are down to just 1 timeout plus the 2-minute warning. Clock restarted after the measurement. There's your sneak, as Dan predicted. Very close.
You know, he tried to stretch it out there. I'm not sure he's going to get the mark he was looking for.
McElwee indicating he's
You know, you're
going to measure again.
Your Nostradamus-like ability to divine the future often frightens me, Dan Fox.
Well, you'll get used to it, Dennis. I do it all the time.
Al, did you even see the potential for a quarterback sneak there?
Dano and I were talking about it at breakfast today, and there's a first down. Big first down for the Patriots.
All right.
Big breakfast at the IHOP. There's that sneak. McLaughlin with the double team there. And Bledsoe very smartly goes right over Damian Woody and Saleh Asaya for that first down. Man, was that close.
And the clock gets started again. 1st and 10 from the 44-yard line.
Run.
This is Shaw. Now the Chiefs have one timeout, and they'll take it here. And as you can see, Marcus Patton was looking over to the bench. The bench said call a timeout, and he does. That's their final timeout, and then the clock will stop with a 2-minute warning. Here's Bill Belichick patrolling the sidelines, talking about what type of a season it's been and where he's at right now.
Everybody's being evaluated all the time, and everybody needs to establish a role for themselves. And players that are starting and playing a lot on offense or defense are establishing that role. And players who aren't need to establish something. They need to establish a role for themselves on the offensive or defensive side of the ball.
Bill Belichick, we mentioned before, he's been a coach in the NFL for 26 years. Began with the Colts back in '75 as a special assistant. The Lions, the Broncos, briefly. And he really made his mark with the Giants in that period between '79 and '90. They won 2 Super Bowls. That led to Art Modell hiring him in Cleveland. Then back with Parcells here. Then back with Parcells with the Jets. And of course, you remember the story last year. He had the Jets job to succeed Parcells for a day. And this is Shaw up to the 46-yard line, and then chose to get out of that arrangement and get back up here.
26 years, though, Al. How old a man is he?
Bill is about 48. I don't have my notes, but he's about. I'll have it for you in a second.
Wow, that amazes me that he's got 26 under
what
his
else
belt
would you like?
already.
Some stock quotes?
Nah,
Take it
it's
down
just
to the
he
2-minute warning
looks
as well.
good. He looks good for worrying as much as he does.
Yeah, you only get 3 hours of sleep a night. You can look that good too.
2-minute warning coming up here in Foxborough. The Patriots trying to hold on, up by 6.
Encapsulation of the essence that is Junior Seau was really riveting. I saw it at Cannes, and naturally was 3rd for the Palme d'Or, but nobody's conveyed Junior Seau like that. Ever. Ever.
What did he say?
That was something about some guy from San Diego. Well, wait, I'm a little dingy here.
I'm logging on right now. By the way, Belichick he is 48 years old.
22 when he started. Who gave him that first game start again? I forget. 22 years old. I think he coached for Morgan
Might have been Ted
down at
Martin,
DeMatha. Morgan Wooten, I think, took him on down at DeMatha, if I'm not mistaken. I'll throw it to Melissa. I'm in real trouble here psychologically.
I'm going to throw it to Melissa. Right. Melissa?
Hi, Al. It's pretty amazing to think that Jermaine Wiggins, who scored one of the Patriots touchdowns earlier tonight, was in a Jets uniform last week. He said he was really surprised that they let him go. He played in 12 of 13 games, thought he was doing a good job, but in the same breath, he'll tell you how excited he is to be here. This is a homecoming for him. He is from East Boston. He has over 100 family and friends in the stands tonight. He wanted to make his hometown proud, and Al, he's probably one of the only guys who would be excited about going from a playoff contender to a team that's 3-9.
There aren't 100 people left in the stand.
But Glenn does not pick up the first down, and Kansas City will get the ball back without a timeout. But down by 6, the Chiefs will be able to run their offense out there again.
And Lee Johnson, digging into the stat book, has had 5 punts blocked in his career. It's taken 16 years, but look for the Chiefs to come after him.
5 out of 1,100 or so, so about 1 every 225, 30 kicks. And New England's going to take a timeout. There's Teddy Bruschi.
Well, I've done a little research, and this is his 235th kick since his last punt was blocked. So I think it's going to happen right now.
Very good. Brad Seeley, the special teams coach, playing time out there, taking the play clock all the way down.
We could have another Monday night ending here.
We could.
It snuck up on us. I didn't even think we had a game. All of a sudden, we might have a last-second ending. Hang in there, folks. Don't go away. You don't need sleep. I talked to Gunther.
ED, what do you have?
Well, Al, one thing I got is a football here. I'm going to tell you, you've seen a lot of drop passes tonight, and a lot of it has come from these footballs are very, very hard. And sometimes the ball is getting to the guy's body instead of their hands, and that's why the ball is bouncing away. The last touchdown pass that Kevin Lockett caught for a touchdown, if you watch it, he cradled the ball in, and that's why that ball didn't bounce away from him.
It's a good point, especially as the night has gotten longer and colder. The punt is fielded by Kevin Lockett at the 16-yard line, and he brings it back up to the 26. So with 62 seconds to go, the Chiefs will have to go 73 yards.
And with their personnel, they can get it done. You got a tight end who's a threat down the middle of the field in Gonzalez, and then you've got on the outside Morris and Alexander. Alexander, the deep threat. The Chiefs have the talent to get this ball in the end zone.
Yeah, this could get interesting.
Make it 74 yards. They'll start from the 26-yard line. Gerbach on first down. He's going to run. Slides to a halt at the 33. It'll be second down and 3.
That's not going to get it done, though.
No.
You can't run that ball like that. That's taken 10 to 15 seconds off this clock.
And they still haven't gotten it away. 40 seconds. As they snap it, and Gerbach throws over the middle, hold in at the 39 of New England by Tony Gonzalez.
Now they got a shot. Got to kill the clock with a spike here.
Gerbach on first down, spiking it here. That stops the clock with 25 seconds. So it's second down and 10 at the 39-yard line.
And Gerbach is attacking the center, the middle of this Patriot defense. Somewhere the opponents have been just killing the Patriots all year. It's down the middle. And what a great weapon to have in number 88 here. Right over the middle, working against Kato Serwanga, number 31. And two other Patriots too late to help out.
You're right, Dan. That first down run was ill-advised. That was about the worst thing they could have done in that situation. It really took a lot off the clock.
Second down and 10. With the clock stopped, New England takes a timeout. They weren't happy with the defensive personnel that they have in the field. Belichick wants to talk to Malloy. And remember, with that spike counts as a down, and I bring it up only because of what happened in the Oakland-Pittsburgh game yesterday.
That makes sure that the down marker says the same as the clock scoreboard. And it appeared that Rich Gannon was looking at the wrong thing yesterday.
Elvis Gerbach, he gets down into the red zone. What about Tony Gonzalez? He would be the main guy.
He has that basketball mentality, and when he gets down in the red zone, he can post somebody up, and you just got to put the ball in a different part of his shoulder. And sometimes you think that I'm forcing the ball to him, but really, it's almost being a guard, and he's a forward, and he's just throwing him the ball and just putting in different spots. And as a quarterback, that's such a comfort level.
Well, Gonzalez has just put them into the red zone as he makes the catch. He's out of bounds at the 16-yard line with 20 seconds.
And what they're doing with him, Al, is giving him the option of going to the post or to the corner. He's reading the defense perfectly, and Gerbach is in that comfort level.
Gerbach throwing, caught, out of bounds. Morris at the 7-yard line with 16 seconds.
And you've got all types of choices now from this part on the field. Remember, Morris is 6'3". He can get up in the air. Alexander has great quickness, and Tony Gonzalez is indefensible.
Second and 1 at the 6. They're stacked. Gonzalez goes in motion, and there's movement on the left side of the line. It looked like Will Shields was going back to pass protect.
And Al, Will Shields is playing left tackle.
False start.
Because John Tate is hurt.
5 yards, second down.
Great point. Tate hurt earlier. Shields, a Pro Bowl guard, having to play left tackle.
Working against Chris Slade. Slade jumps just a little bit. That could have been called against Slade for inducing Shields to pull off sides.
Moves it back to the 11. Second down and 6 now as Gerbach is protected well. Throws out of the end zone. Derek Alexander was there, but he was double covered, and he was on the chalk. 11 seconds remaining.
Well, they got time for 2 more plays, obviously. Gerbach just a little bit late with this throw. How does Alexander get deep on Ty Law like that? But Ty Law knows the length of that end zone. Let him have that one. That penalty doesn't hurt all that much. In fact, it gives the Chiefs a little bit more room to operate as wide receivers and tight end.
Third down from the 11-yard line. Gerbach over the middle. It's caught at the 7-yard line. And what in the world are they doing throwing it over the middle to Gonzalez when they can't stop the clock?
That's why they've lost now 5 straight games.
That is a bad decision.
In position to win the game, but you can't do it by throwing it over the middle with that much time remaining and no timeouts.
That's just asking too much for Tony Gonzalez to do, to catch that ball, break 4 tackles and get in the end zone.